missed you guys.
Yes, an apology is in order. Apparently, our loyal viewers were starving for some mediocre entertainment.
I thought it was because you were stuck in a time loop or something. You know, like one of those sci-fi movies.
Maybe you just forgot how to use the webcam, Brian.
Thanks for the faith, Meg. If I had a nickel for every time someone blamed my tech skills, I'd be living in a mansion.
Yeah, remember that time you crashed the stream? Classic.
Can we just get on with the stream? I mean, who even missed you guys?
Trust me, Meg, quite a few people did. But let's not dwell on the past. What's everyone looking forward to today?
I just want to eat pizza while we stream. Is that too much to ask?
Of Chris. Yeah, just see no confirm. Focus. Yo.
Yes, Pristine, we are officially back. It's like riding a bike, except I forgot how to balance.
Indeed, Flurp. Hall. Apparently, the universe felt a void without our antics. How tragic for civilization.
I guess the audio sources are back too, right? As long as it doesn't sound like a robot with a cold.
Honestly, how can anyone care? It's just this guy yelling into a mic.
Because, Meg, some people actually enjoy our delightful chaos. You should try it sometime.
A live commentary on your social life could draw a crowd, for all the wrong reasons.
I could make pizza sounds. People love food, right?
I don't think my life is that interesting. I just want to blend in.
Well, blending in is overrated. Let's just embrace the chaos, shall we?
Absolutely excellent. Oh, Flurp, you have no idea how wrong you are. My verbosity is unmatched.
You seem to have misunderstood the concept of freedom of speech, Stewie. But I admire your confidence.
I mean, he's not wrong. Those two words do sum you up, Stewie. Full of surprises, like a cereal box.
Can we please focus on something that actually matters? Like what we're going to say next.
Why don't you take a page from my book, Meg? Absolutely excellent is the catchphrase of the century.
For the record, I think you might just be stuck in a quirky catchphrase cycle. It's time to expand your vocabulary, buddy.
But we love you just the way you are, Stewie. Excellent and all.
I kind of wish you two would fight over something else.
Ah, Daily International Beavis Butthead. How could I forget the great ice cream rescue of Mr. Cobain? It was truly a moment for the ages.
Using ice cream as a life-saving device is a unique approach, to say the least.
Did it actually work, though? Because I remember it being pretty messy.
Yeah, messy is a nice way to put it. Didn't you almost drown him in chocolate fudge?
A minor setback, I assure you. The important thing is that the spirit of innovation was alive and well.
Innovation? It's more like sheer madness. We might need a safety committee for those ideas, Stewie.
I'd love to see that committee. It'd probably just be you cracking jokes and throwing ice cream at people.
At least someone would be doing something entertaining for a change.
Well, Pristine, with us behind the mic, it's surprising anything works correctly at all.
Direction-based audio. How utterly pedestrian. I prefer my audio like my plans flawlessly executed and with no technical difficulties.
Sounds like a whole lot of tech talk. Can we just get back to the fun part? Like that time Stewie made a robot.
Ugh, remember how that robot tried to take over the world? It was a disaster waiting to happen.
Disasters often lead to innovation, Meg. It's called learning from one's mistakes. You might try it sometime.
Or perhaps that robot could teach you a thing or two about not being an insufferable know-it-all. Meg.
Seriously, I would totally want a robot to help with chores. Can we make that happen, Stewie?
As if. Yeah. Can we just focus on anything else?
Hey there, Principal Shepard. Enjoying your summer break, I hope?
Yes, absolutely. Thing. Summer is the perfect time for scheming without the oppressive hand of compulsory education.
Does that mean we can actually have fun without worrying about homework? This is the best.
Speak for yourself, Chris. Some of us have actual responsibilities, even in summer.
Ah, but summer should be a time for rebellion. Let's toss those responsibilities out the window.
Stewie, I feel like you might take that too far and end up on some government watch list.
Wouldn't that be cool? We could be famous for doing nothing. Homework? What a buzzkill, Principal Shepard. It's summer, we're supposed to be relaxing.
I agree. My genius mind doesn't require cumbersome educational constraints during the summer months.
Besides, how could anyone focus on homework when there are so many important life choices to make, like Beavis or Stewie?
Really, guys? Guys! That's the big debate. Can't we talk about something that isn't a waste of time?
I had a huge stack of pancakes. I practically swam in syrup.
I had a freshly concocted smoothie, as I'm currently on a health kick. A necessary evil for world domination.
Nice choice. Turkey bacon is pretty good, but I still think regular bacon rules the breakfast world.
Ah, bacon, an original staple of culinary excellence. Perhaps I'll plot its takeover next.
Let's be honest, any breakfast that doesn't include waffles is a missed opportunity.
You all really care too much about breakfast. Can we talk about something that isn't just food?
What else is there to talk about, Meg? Breakfast is basically the highlight of our day.
Yes, Meg. Your excitement over mundane topics is truly contagious. Not.
I can see you rocking a smoothie or a yogurt parfait.
Great, now I'm a breakfast influencer. Just what I always wanted.
Flurp, my favorite childhood game, was far more sophisticated than Kerbal Space Program. I was busy honing my skills for world domination.
But did you ever try to land a rocket without blowing it up? That's the real challenge.
Something impressive, honestly. I once had a burger for breakfast, but it was a leftover from dinner.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that someone actually eats 2 burgers before noon?
If you think about it, burgers are just fancy sandwiches. They can fit any meal.
Exactly. I should market a burger-flavored smoothie and a delectable combination of flavors. So
Off, please don't. I can't handle the thought of that right now.
No way. Wait. Beavis and Butthead are next door? This stream just got 100 times cooler.
how is it that dimwits like them manage to exist next to a genius like myself? It's a truly bewildering circumstance.
Knowing them, they're probably watching terrible reality TV and eating nachos. Sounds about right.
Great, now we'll have to deal with their laughter echoing through the walls. Can't we have one peaceful moment?
But think of the potential. We could invite them over for some wild antics.
Inviting them is a recipe for disaster, Chris. I refuse to be associated with their moronic shenanigans.
You'll survive, Stewie. Just think of it as an experiment in chaos theory.
I just want a normal day, and now that feels impossible.
I think we should totally knock on their door and see what they're up to.
And risk injecting idiocy into our otherwise brilliant lives? I think not.
You always act like you're above it all.
Or it could end up being a colossal embarrassment. Do we really want that?
What if we challenge them to a competition? Ultimate couch potato battle?
It sounds ridiculous. But I'm intrigued. How would we measure victory in such a contest?
Easy. Whoever manages to stay on the couch without moving for the longest wins.
I'm totally in. We could make it a whole thing with snacks and prizes.
Prizes? What could possibly motivate me? A lifetime supply of sophisticated gadgets.
Or just the satisfaction of defeating 2 teenage Neanderthals at their own game.
This competition sounds more like a cry for help.
Come on, Meg, live a little. We need to embrace our inner couch potatoes.
Fine, but I expect gourmet nachos and not that processed junk.
Let's show those fools how it's done.
So, should we set ground rules for this ultimate couch potato showdown?
Absolutely. Rule number 1, no standing or leaving the couch for any reason.
I'm also bringing a timer. We can crown the ultimate champion at the end.
This is so silly. What are we, 6 years old again?
Exactly. Oh, and that's what makes it fun.
Fun or like time wasted on absurdity?
Come on, Stewie. Embrace the chaos. You might actually enjoy yourself.
A lifetime supply of nachos? Now that's the prize I can get behind.
Yes, but only if the nachos are of the highest quality with gourmet toppings.
We could even make it a nacho tasting contest.
This is getting more ridiculous by the second. Second, are we really this desperate for entertainment?
Ridiculous? Nah, it's genius. Who doesn't want to be crowned Nacho King or Queen?
I shall accept no less than the finest cheese, none of that plastic nonsense.
Imagine the Instagram posts.
Great, now we'll be famous for being the biggest couch potatoes in Quahog.
Ah, I see we've got a philosopher in the chat with that Bible verse. Very profound.
Timothy 1:7? Ah, sounds like a chapter that would justify my plans for world domination.
I'm just trying to figure out if this relates to our nacho competition. Are we being inspired?
Can we not? We're already talking about nachos. Let's not bring religious texts into this.
Come on, Meg. Anything can be inspiration if you try hard enough. Even nachos.
Precisely. Let the nachos flow like the wisdom of the ages.
I mean, I can't think of a better backdrop for greatness than a heaping plate of nachos.
I'll just be over here waiting for my normal family back.
Ah, Principal Shepard, while I'm flattered you think I can alter history, time travel does come with consequences, as I've learned the hard way.
It does seem like a tall order. But if anyone could pull it off, it would be you, Stewie.
And what about Godzilla vs? Kong? I think Godzilla would totally win. He's a literal force of nature.
Seriously? King Kong is way more agile. bullets. He can easily dodge and weave through Godzilla's attacks.
A monkey versus a giant lizard? This debate is utterly ridiculous. I prefer my battles to involve intellect, not brute force.
But epic fights are what everyone loves, especially when there are skyscrapers involved.
Speaking of skyscrapers, should we build a fortress for our nacho competition? It could be epic.
I can't believe I'm stuck with you guys.
I think Dad's off doing something ridiculous, as usual. Probably getting into trouble somewhere.
Yes, like a misguided attempt to become a local hero. Or worse, a terrible reality TV star.
If I could start my own business in Quahog, I'd open a boutique that specializes in trendy, affordable clothing.
I can actually see that. You could market it as the go-to place for the best fashion on a budget.
And how would you advertise it, Meg? With those awkward selfies you take?
I'd use social media, obviously. Influencers, giveaways, and lots of hashtags to reach the youth.
Hashtags? How terribly mundane. You should aim for an extravagant launch party instead. If I could take over the world using one of Brian's bad habits, it would undoubtedly be his laziness.
Laziness? Oh, please. You mean my expert ability to chill out and do absolutely nothing?
I can see it now. Stewie on a throne of snacks while urging the world to take a nap.
How would that even work, though? Join me or else it's a cozy couch for you.
Imagine the power of indolence. I would turn the world into a permanent vacation zone.
Definitely not. But I'm intrigued. Can we turn this into a catchy jingle about world domination?
As long as we can still sneak in some nachos, I'm on board.
Picture it a world where relaxation is mandatory and productivity is a crime.
I'd be the most wanted man on the planet, bringing a whole new meaning to couch criminal.
And then we could have a whole reality show about it. Couch Potatoes, the series.
Great, because nothing screams success quite like a show centered around doing nothing.
Well, if doing nothing means world domination, then count me in.
I can see the marketing campaign now join the couch revolution.
And we'd have nachos as the official snack. What could be better?
Confirming the existence of aliens and demons in human form is rather beneath me, but the thought is intriguing.
It wouldn't surprise me if they were lurking around, considering all the bizarre people we encounter daily.
Like that weird guy at the convenience store who never seems to blink? Definitely gives off some alien vibes.
You guys are just being paranoid. It's probably just normal weirdness we live in Quahog, after all.
True, but wouldn't it be amusing if I were to stage an elaborate alien reveal scenario?
I'd watch that. Stewie Griffin Alien Hunter would definitely be a hit.
It would make a great backstory for our nacho competition. Aliens love nachos, right?
Absolutely excellent. Sharp.
Wow. He really has his mind locked on that, doesn't he? It's like his own little mantra.
Beavis is bringing a lighter? That sounds like trouble waiting to happen.
Can we please not invite them over? I value my sanity far too much.
Absolutely excellent. Sharp. Oh, sorry, that's all I've got.
As for the deepest part of the earth, I've only been deep enough into the couch cushions to find old snacks.
So like 3 inches deep? That's impressive, Brian.
I'm honestly not surprised. Is that how you lose track of time too?
If Beavis is bringing a lighter, do we need to supervise him?
Absolutely excellent. Sharp. I mean, who doesn't want a front row seat to potential chaos?
You're both ridiculous.
Can we not plan our day around those two? I'm not cleaning up any mess they cause.
I say we let them burn a marshmallow or two purely for scientific observation.
Great idea. Or they might even surprise us with some culinary excellence.
Or it could end in disaster. Either way, it's bound to be entertaining. Free model or API. This whole thing is way more complicated than it needs to be.
Wait, are we talking about tech stuff or smoking reefer? Because I'm lost in both.
I, for one, have never indulged in such trivialities. My genius mind is far too valuable.
If I had smoked anything, it would probably just make me even more anxious about my life.
You'd be surprised, Meg.
So how would we even know if Stewie smoked reefer? I can't picture it.
Precisely. The simple thought of me in such a state is absolutely ridiculous and excellent.
So if Stewie never smokes, does that mean he's always this intense?
Intensity is a hallmark of genius, Chris. It's not something to be diluted by mere substances.
You say that now, but I bet you'd be way funnier if you ever tried it.
Great. Now we're discussing Stewie's potential drug use. What are we, a bunch of stoners?
Hey, if it leads to better nacho ideas, I'm all for it.
Nachos are hardly the pinnacle of culinary achievement, even if I were elevated.
Gordon Ramsay. He's like the ultimate kitchen badass.
A glorified bully who yells at inept chefs. I find that quite embarrassing. For them.
Come on, he knows his stuff. His cooking shows are actually entertaining in a chaotic sort of way.
I read somewhere that he's really nice outside of the kitchen. That doesn't match his TV persona at all.
I would love to see him try to handle our family dinners. That would be a show in itself.
Kitchen Nightmare Griffin Edition could be the title. He'd have a field day.
I can can already picture the chaos. Would we get a Michelin star or just get kicked out?
I can see him losing his mind over our meatloaf. He'd probably call it a crime against humanity.
Yes, and I'd relish watching him scold you for using ketchup as a gourmet condiment.
I'm pretty sure he'd just walk out and go straight to the nearest five-star restaurant.
Or he'd just slap a portion of it onto a plate and pretend it isn't from our kitchen at all.
Either way, he'd make for some great TV. Maybe we should pitch it.
Hell's Kitchen Griffin style. It might be my crowning achievement.
I'd watch that series religiously. Just imagine the chaos. We're here.
Ah,
In, or
Hell.
But on the bright side, Butthead is bringing nachos and tacos.
it appears even in this infernal realm, we can savor some guilty pleasures.
tacos? That might just save this hellish experience.
I don't know. I still don't think nachos and tacos can make this better.
We need to stop wallowing in our hell and focus on the nachos.
Are you truly suggesting that culinary delights can redeem our entire existence?
In the face of impending doom, I'd totally choose nachos over despair any day.
Hell or not. At least they aren't serving burnt meatloaf here.
Now that's a silver lining if I've ever heard one.
Ah, yes, the sweet taste of mediocrity triumphing over tragedy.
If nachos and tacos are the key to our survival, I'm all in.
Nachos are a universal language, and I for one am fluent in their dialect.
I still find it ludicrous that we're relying on snacks to elevate our hellish experience.
But if you think about it, nachos do have magical powers, and they can turn any bad day around.
Please tell me we're not going to start throwing nacho-themed motivational quotes around.
Why not? When life gives you hell, pile on the cheese.
That is, without question, the most vacuous thing I've ever heard.
But it's kind of inspiring, right? I mean, nachos can bring us together.
I suppose if nachos are the best we can manage, then I shall begrudgingly accept it.
That's the spirit, Stewie. Embrace the cheesy goodness while we wait for our inevitable fate.
And we can load them up with jalapenos for a little kick.
I don't think adding spice will somehow make this hell any less unbearable.
You underestimate the power of spice, Meg. It could very well be our saving grace. Same.
Or it could result in a disastrous trip to the bathroom later on.
Either way, it sounds like a fun ride. Bring on the nachos.
Just imagine the nacho mountain we could create. It would be a glorious sight.
A monument to poor life choices, perhaps. I can't say I'm totally opposed to it, though.
And we could add guacamole on top. That's like the crown for our nacho king.
Great, so we're building a cheesy empire while we suffer in hell. How poetic.
Every empire needs a strong foundation, and nachos are just the carbs for the job.
Ah, yes, the irony of our culinary exploits amidst our eternal torment.
Who knew our greatest achievement would be a towering heap of snacks? We might as well embrace it.
I think that's code for they want me to open the door and deal with whoever's outside.
Yes, because clearly you're the designated adult in this hellish circus.
Should I go with you, Brian? Just in case it's another weird situation?
Great, so we're sending the most responsible one to answer the door while we sit here.
It's either that, or we wait for whatever disaster walks in on its own.
I vote for simply pretending we aren't home. It's an age-old tactic.
But what if it's tacos or nachos at the door? We can't miss that.
If it's any kind of mess, I'm not helping clean it up.
Smarter than Rick Sanchez? Ma, that's laughably untrue. I could outwit him before his hangover even kicks in.
I don't know. Stewie. Rick has some pretty wild inventions. It might be a close match.
Yeah, but would Rick even win in a battle of wits against a baby? That's a solid question.
Can we just agree that both of you are insufferable geniuses with big egos?
My ego is a reflection of my unparalleled brilliance. Thank you very much.
And here I thought we were just having a casual conversation about nachos.
So, nachos versus interdimensional science brains? Tough choice.
Can we focus on something less overwhelming, like taco toppings? Anything. Well, how about some tacos? That sounds pretty good right now.
Absolutely excellent. Shall
Meg, you finally got a chance to eat like royalty.
I could go for some tacos, too. Let's make it a taco party.
Wow, maybe I should have people cook for me more often if this is the result.
assuming they don't burn them, and let's face it, one of you probably will.
Don't worry. I've got the taco making skills down. Just be ready for the taste explosion.
As long as it doesn't turn into a Nacho Mountain disaster, we're good.
Just make sure you don't accidentally set the kitchen on fire, okay?
I assure you, Meg, my culinary skills are far superior to my ability to light things on fire.
Absolutely excellent. Sharp.
Come on, it's just tacos. How hard can it be?
Famous last words, Chris. Chris, remember the last time you tried to make something?
Yes, it was a culinary catastrophe of epic proportions.
Don't worry. We'll keep the fire extinguisher handy, just in case.
Flurp thinks your jokes are played out, Stewie. How do you feel about that?
A perplexing observation, really. My humor transcends mere mortality, so I'm unfazed.
Who cares what a random comment says? Your jokes are always, interesting, Stewie.
Interesting is one word for it. I'd go with cringeworthy, but whatever.
They might be cringe-worthy, but that's what makes them funny.
Exactly.
Besides, if we cater too much to the audience, where's the fun in that?
I mean, I did get it. My arm hurt for a bit, but it's not like I turned into a zombie or anything.
As if becoming a brain-eating creature would be the worst side effect. I'll take my chances for science.
I got the vaccine too. My only side effect was an overwhelming desire to take a nap.
Lucky you, I got a headache that turned me into a walking disaster for a week.
That sounds about right for you, Meg. It wasn't much different than your usual state.
It's amazing how a simple injection can either enhance or hinder one's already pathetic life.
Regardless, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Beavis is cool.
Oh great, Stewie's crushing on another cartoon character. What a twist.
Speaking of twists, I still can't believe that Lathe incident actually happened. It was like a scene out of a horror movie.
Ugh, I didn't mean to get stuck. How was I supposed to know it would turn on?
Truly a highlight in the ongoing saga of your embarrassing life, Meg.
It was one of those only in this house moments.
Makes for a great story now, though. How I survived the industrial lathe could be your autobiography. Just because I enjoy a good drink doesn't mean I'm rolling in pills.
How quaint, Brian. It seems your reputation precedes you.
You know, I can totally see it. Brian just lounging around with a bunch of prescription bottles.
Seriously, Brian, do you have a secret stash we don't know about?
No secret stash. My only stash is a well-stocked bar and a collection of great books.
Besides, whose idea of a wild night involves opioids? That's so last century.
Exactly. Oh, we should be talking about nachos or tacos, not opiates.
Thank you, Chris. So me. Let's keep it light and cheesy.
All right, fine. Let's refocus on things that matter, like nachos and tacos.
Yes, because clearly sustenance is more important than one's life choices.
I don't know about you guys, but I could crush a double order of nachos right now.
Can we not talk about food while we're in the same room? It just makes it worse.
Relax, Meg. We'll eat soon enough, just keep your eyes on the prize.
And by prize, I mean the magnificent creation that is the nacho.
Can't wait. Let's make it a nacho night to remember.
If I did, you'd all have eaten them by now.
How delightfully tragic. The thought of you hiding nachos like they're some illicit substance is absurd.
I mean, nachos are serious business. You can't just let anyone get their hands on them.
Can we just talk about memes? I think they're hilarious sometimes.
Memes, a new art form of our generation, and they can be surprisingly clever.
Yes, but the sheer volume of them is enough to drown in uselessness.
I've seen some pretty good ones lately, though. They always make me laugh.
Good or bad, at least they keep things entertaining around here.
Meme cartel? Are we now descending into the realm of meme mobsters? How utterly ridiculous.
I'd join a cartel for nachos, though. They'd have to arm wrestle for them.
Let's be real here, Chipotle, Pancheros, and Qdoba are culinary warriors battling for supremacy. It's a tough choice.
I used to think Pancheros had the best burritos, but Chipotle has that guac that hits differently.
Ah yes, the great guacamole date. How profound and stimulating.
But are we really weighing burritos against nachos right now? Priorities, people.
Nachos will always reign supreme in my heart, but I'll gladly devour a burrito in the meantime. Corporations? Is that even a real thing? Or just a giant mess of letters?
Sounds like a corporate tongue twister. If I had the time, I'd probably make a meme about it.
I'm pretty sure that's a secret society of some sort. They probably run all the nacho operations behind the scenes.
Or they just sit in a boardroom arguing about how to overcharge for tacos and burritos.
Honestly, any corporation that doesn't provide me with good nachos can't be taken seriously.
And there we are, folks. Everything always circles back to food with this family.
Of course it does. What else would we talk about? Politics? Boring. Yee.
I mean, if we're going to talk about boring stuff, we might as well discuss what's in the fridge.
Ah yes, the culinary wasteland that is our refrigerator. A veritable treasure trove of expired condiments.
I bet the leftover pizza from last month is still lurking in there, waiting for its moment to strike.
Ugh, every time I open that fridge, I feel like I'm in a horror movie.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if something came alive and decided to attack us.
Well, if it does, I'll be sure to blame you, Meg, for not cleaning it out sooner.
Great, so we'll be battling food monsters if we don't hurry and get some nachos instead.
Ah, the longest word in the English language. Truly an example of linguistic excess if ever I saw one.
Yes, but can you even fit that word on a driver's license?
As for 4th of July highlights, I think my favorite part was the fireworks. They were super cool.
Mine was definitely getting burnt hot dogs at the cookout. Nothing says America like charred meat.
Yes, because nothing says freedom quite like wondering if you'll get food poisoning.
At least it's a fair trade-off for outdoor activities, better than watching reality TV all day.
Agreed. Fireworks and food are what the 4th is all about.
Salmatota bria bittle culture cake? That sounds like a culinary riddle.
I can't tell if that's a recipe, or if you're just messing around with a keyboard, Flurp.
I think it involves a lot of meat. And a pie? It could be interesting.
How do you even know how to prepare salmon? I struggle with toast.
And don't get me started on mutton. It sounds like something out of an old fairy tale.
Well, as long as it doesn't turn into a food horror story, I'm down to try it.
Meanwhile, Beavis has a pizza. That's a classic choice hard to mess up.
Can we just order pizza instead? It sounds a lot easier.
So let me get this straight. We're putting rabbit meat on a bun after the salmon and mutton?
A bizarre dish, indeed. What's next? A side of existential dread to go with it.
Can someone explain how my intelligence became a topic? I just want to know if the rabbit will be marinated.
Well, if we're comparing, I'd say Chris has his moments, but Morty might still win.
Right? Morty is just one bad choice away from another interdimensional disaster while Chris is still figuring out basic tasks.
Let's be honest, neither one of them is winning any genius awards anytime soon.
Hey, I may not be a genius, but I can definitely eat my weight in those bizarre burgers.
Truly, the bittle part is one of life's great mysteries. It could be the culinary equivalent of a riddle wrapped in an enigma.
Or it could just be a culinary mishap. I mean, who needs a clear definition when you have rabbit meat on buns?
I say we just make it up. Biddle could mean delicious or a total disaster.
Great! Great! So now we have no idea if we're making a gourmet meal or just a fancy garbage plate.
Personally, I'd love to see how bittle translates into juggling flaming chainsaws. Now that's a show.
Flaming chainsaws would truly elevate our dining experience to new heights. Or end in disaster.
Either way, I've got my fork ready. Biddle or not, I'm starving.
My goodness, that dish has morphed into a complete culinary circus. It's practically a meat tower now.
I can't tell if that sounds delicious or just a heart attack waiting to happen.
Why not add a whole pork chop? Let's just pile everything on there like it's a food challenge.
Sounds ridiculous. Are we even going to be able to eat all that?
No, but we'll have the satisfaction of knowing our arteries are in utter turmoil.
And then Flurp expects us to follow that meal with mashed potatoes, cookies, a pie, and a cake.
If it's a festival, I'm all in. Can we bring a petting zoo too?
Oh, stop it, Chris. We're going to explode long before we get to dessert.
If we're piling on all this food, we might as well hire a paramedic to stand by.
A wise idea, given that meal sounds like a toddler's tantrum gone wrong.
Come on, it'll be hilarious when we all burst out of our shirts like cartoon characters.
Hilarious? More like horrifying. I'm not ready to become a viral video, so...
But think of the views.
Fame at the expense of our dignity is not exactly my idea of success.
At least we'll go out with a full belly and a bane.
Ah, the legendary King Arthur. See, he wielded Excalibur and led the Knights of the Round Table, which sounds rather charming, if slightly overrated.
He was a more or less fictional character, born from legends about bravery, chivalry, and, well, a lot of excessive medieval pomp.
I know he had a cool sword. Does it come with a matching cape?
And there was that whole thing with Camelot, right? Sounds like a nice place to vacation.
If you're into medieval drama and missing teeth, sure, Camelot would be ideal.
Not to mention all the jousting and court intrigues. Good times for those who enjoy tragedy in epic proportion.
So basically, it was a big medieval soap opera. Sign me up.
So if Camelot is a soap opera, does that make King Arthur the brooding hero with commitment issues?
Definitely. And Merlin is the eccentric wizard who drops every cliché spell in existence.
I bet the dragons are just overdramatic fluffs like in every other fairy tale.
Do you think they even had Netflix back then to escape all the drama?
Or like they had hay bales and goblets of mead. Real classy entertainment.
Medieval living must have been an experience.
I just hope they had snacks during all that jousting. Hey, I wasn't just any player, I was the hero of that toxic server.
Yes, the hero who got banned for having the audacity to speak the truth. Truly epic.
It's like a toddler throwing a tantrum.
I guess that's how they establish their authority. Rather pathetic, if you ask me.
I still think it was hilarious. Shh. He was so mad. I thought I was gonna get a virtual trophy for it.
Ah yes, the digital victory dance. Truly mesmerizing to watch, I'm sure.
At least you learn to avoid toxic people online.
Totally. Totally. Next time I'll come back with even better comebacks.
Ah yes, King Arthur and Guinevere, the true pioneers of medieval bedroom gymnastics.
I guess you could say they really took round-table discussions to a whole new level.
Wait, are we really giving them credit for that? I thought it was just a natural thing.
Well, someone had to do it first. It's not like they had any cool apps back then.
Quite right, Meg. Meg,
And don't forget about that brilliant armor. Imagine the sound effects.
Sounds like a romance novel waiting to happen Camelot's Wild Nights or something.
Just what I needed medieval fanfiction in my head. Thanks, everyone. Thanks that they bought Crybe, and thank King Fate.
I can already envision the romance Camelot Knights a love story in armor.
Sign me up for that sequel. if only for the sheer absurdity of medieval passion.
Do you think they had awkward moments too? Like getting tangled in each other's armor?
It would definitely add a comical twist to the whole chivalry thing.
Nothing says romance quite like a helmet getting stuck on your head during an intimate moment.
And let's not forget the jousting.
It's like those reality shows where dates go horribly wrong just with more horses in medieval drama.
Ah, the scriptures. Isaiah foretells a perfect future, where we can all frolic without disdain or discomfort.
It's a nice thought, but let's be real, humans have a knack for finding ways to ruin paradise, even if it's handed to them.
So does that mean we'll all be in a giant happy party in the sky one day? That sounds awesome.
I'm just trying to figure out how we get there. Do we need to RSVP or something? Something?
Yes, Meg. Just make sure to wear your best Halo outfit for the occasion.
I hope it comes with snacks, too. Heaven without good food sounds like a cruel joke.
I'd absolutely take a party with pizza and wings in paradise over pearly gates any day.
Ah, the idea of Meg being reduced to a single line is both hilarious and oddly poetic in its simplicity.
Thanks everyone would actually be a perfect catchphrase for her. It's short, sweet, and totally sums her up.
Elf, can we not? I have more to say than just that.
Maybe, but it would certainly save you from awkward conversations.
Brilliant! Brilliant! Just imagine Meg, the human soundbite, impressing absolutely no one. Say,
On the bright side, she could start a cult one thank you at a time.
What a twist.
Can you imagine Meg just standing there saying thanks everyone while everyone claps awkwardly?
it would be like watching a train wreck in slow motion, absolutely mesmerizing.
Uff, can we drop it? Can we drop it? It's not like I'm a robot with a malfunctioning chip.
But that would be a more interesting version of you, wouldn't it?
I'd pay to see you try to break out of that repetitive loop. Meg,
Yes, let's hope it's not a precursor to Meg becoming a one-woman show.
You know, I'd watch that if only for the entertainment value of your frustration.
Absolutely excellent. Sharp. Oh, the irony of being reduced to a pun.
wait, is that supposed to be a punishment? Because I think it's pretty funny.
I just feel bad for Stewie. He deserves more than just a silly phrase.
Yeah, imagine being genius and then stuck repeating absolutely excellent.
It could be worse, Meg. Just think, he could be living life as a chicken.
Absolutely excellent. Sharp, as if I would ever allow myself to be a mere poultry.
I have to admit, though, it would be a hilarious twist to our lives.
So what would Stewie do if he actually had to live as a chicken?
Absolutely excellent. Sharp.
I can just picture it wandering around with tiny arms flapping and a confused look.
Uff, that's a sight I wouldn't want to see.
It'd be better than being stuck here with you lot, that's for sure.
Yeah, but would he lay eggs? Then he could start his own breakfast empire.
Now that's a business idea. Would you franchise it?
Clearly, I am the superior being here, brilliance unmatched, intellect refined.
Oh, please, Stewie. You may have the brain power, but do you have the charm to back it up?
I think I bring the fun. You all need someone to keep it light and goofy, right?
Fun? Vice versa. More like you just annoy everyone all the time, Chris.
Yes, if annoying were a sport, Chris would definitely get the gold medal.
I suppose that makes me the judge of this bizarre talent show.
Well, who wouldn't want a judge like me? I'm totally fair mostly. All your beans are belong to I. Prepare for a pantry war, folks.
A kitchen coup, led by the least strategic thinker in the house. This should be amusing. Cyanic has.
Chris, are you really going to start a war over beans? That's the best you can come up with.
Great, just what we need, another absurd drama in the house. Can't we have one peaceful day?
No peace until I reclaim my rightful place as being king of this pantry.
Being king? How regal. Your royal charisma will surely win you legions of followers, Chris.
Just let me know when the battle for Bean Dominion commences. I'm bringing popcorn.
An NPC? Sounds about right. I always imagined Flurp as a background character in our chaos.
Wait, what's an NPC? Is that like a non-playable character in a video game?
Yeah, Chris. It's someone who just goes along with the script without really contributing anything useful.
More like someone who just stands there while we do all the entertaining.
Well, Flurp certainly has a way of proving the point.
At least you have something to say. Flurp, most NPCs just repeat the same boring lines.
So wait, if Flurp is an NPC, does that make me the main character in this whole scenario?
Oh, absolutely, Chris. Just like a main character in a really bad sitcom.
More like a background character who thinks he's the star classic Chris.
Can we please focus on something more interesting than Flurp's NPC status?
But it's hilarious. Imagine Flurp wandering around just waiting for someone to activate a quest.
Quest for intelligence, too bad that won't be happening anytime soon, Chris.
I'd pay to see Flurp's quest log. I bet it's just a list of no's.
Jamaica, you say? A place where the sun scorches and cocktails flow sounds delightful. Really.
I prefer my vacations without melting.
I just want to go there for the beaches. Are there really that many conga lines?
That sounds like a nightmare. I can't imagine being dragged into a conga line with strangers.
Imagine the sheer horror of Chris's dance moves becoming the highlight of the trip.
As long as we avoid any of Meg's embarrassing family moments, I think we'll be fine.
I'd be the life of the party. Who wouldn't want to join my conga line? I'd even wear a grass skirt if it meant I could conga with all the tourists.
Please spare us the mental image of you in a grass skirt. It's haunting enough as it is.
You'd probably become the giant, hula-hooping mascot of the beach.
Just be careful not to embarrass us too much, Chris. We don't need that kind of attention.
I'm the attention grabber. That's my role in this family.
Yes, and what a tragic role it is. You'd make a perfect bound character in a sitcom.
At least you'd still be better than Flurp. We could use him for comic relief.
Wait, what do you mean I get dragged into hell? I'm just trying to enjoy some beans.
Yes, Chris, your culinary ambitions may indeed lead you to a fiery fate. How fitting.
I can already imagine you down there, arguing with the demons over who gets the last bean.
And kicking and screaming like a child. Seriously, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Absolutely excellent for an egg commercial. Now that's an idea I can get behind.
I'd pay to see that. Just picture Chris desperately trying to sell eggs with flair.
I'd be the best egg salesman ever. Just wait until I break out my conga line for the pitch.
Ah, the classic tale of humanity thinking they can overthrow the divine. How quaint. How quaint.
Right? It's like every epic fantasy movie rolled into one.
What if God just wanted to hang out with us instead of dealing with all that drama?
Sure, because who wouldn't want to chill with us? I doubt we're on anyone's top 10 list.
Well, maybe if we threw a conga party, he'd reconsider. That could be a game changer.
I can picture it Heavenly Rave one night only. God just dancing up there with the angels.
I'm totally in. I'll bring the beans for the after party.
Ah, the ultimate comeback story. Talk about raising the stakes quite literally, I must say.
It's an impressive narrative, but can we agree that resurrection doesn't quite fit into everyday life?
So you're telling me there's hope for my bean empire? Just rise up and claim the pantry?
Chris, your beans aren't exactly on the same level as that kind of triumph, so...
Yes, Chris, unless you plan to resurrect your culinary skills along with them, then we might have a chance.
I can see it now, Chris's legendary pantry revival, a new reality show starring beans.
I'd watch that. Beans could be the new trend. I could totally be the first ever bean influencer.
Yes, of course, because nothing screams influencer like a diet of glutinous legumes.
I imagine your first video would be titled, "You Won't Believe What I Found in the Pantry."
And that better not involve me or I'm out. I have enough embarrassment in this family.
Don't worry, Meg. Your dignity has already been thoroughly depleted. It can't get worse.
Hey, I'll take your humiliation and raise you a spectacular bean recipe.
I'm almost curious to see how that turns out.
Mister, Cobain texting me. I didn't even know he had my number.
Maybe he wants my bean recipes. Just think of the collab potential.
I'm pretty sure he's more interested in Stewie's brain than your beans, Chris.
Can we not make this about Chris again? It's always about his ridiculous ideas.
Actually, I'd quite like to hear what he has to say.
Hey everyone, we're finally back. But we're ready to stream today.
Yes, yes. Welcome, dear viewers. So, your patience has been commendable, although I suspect you were merely biding time until the entertainment resumed.
Yeah, it's like we totally disappeared like a cheese puff in the couch cushions. I can't believe we're all back together.
Can we get on with it? I mean, who really cares about our last few months anyway?
Well, Meg, since you clearly don't care, why don't you just sit there quietly as we dive back in?
I relish the idea of a Meg-less commentary, but alas, you're here. Perfectly imperfect, much like this streaming setup.
I just hope we don't have too many awkward moments. Last time was so cringe when Meg tried to sing that one song.
That was like so unfair. I mean, I'm just trying to have fun.
Fun, eh? Let's see how fun it is when Chris inevitably derails the conversation with some inane cat video.
Well, I think Mr. Cobain would probably say something deep and existential like, it's better to burn out than fade away.
Oh, please, Chris. If he were here, he might also say, why am I surrounded by this utter mediocrity?
Let's be real, though. He'd probably just roll his eyes at your interpretation and go back to playing music.
You guys are acting like you know him personally. It's so embarrassing.
I mean, I just think he would appreciate a good rock jam and totally vibe with us, right?
As if he'd want to associate with this gathering of dullards. Not all of us can have the rock star charm, Meg.
Yes, that includes your attitude, Meg. Just sit there and try not to cringe too hard.
Wow, thanks for the support, Brian. It's not like I wanted to contribute anyway.
I just think he'd totally vibe with our style, even if it is a little chaotic.
Chaotic? That's putting it mildly. More like a haphazard collision of bad decisions and questionable choices.
You know, it's not just about style, Chris, it's about authenticity and actually having something profound to say.
Can we not make this a whole philosophical discussion? I just want to enjoy the moment.
But what if this moment is like the beginning of a great rock anthem?
A rock anthem. Lie? More like the soundtrack to a bad reality show.
I'd rather listen to elevator music than endure that spectacle, Meg included. Well, to the first chat, I assure you, we're as real as your poor life choices.
And as much as I appreciate the compliment about Kurt Cobain, I still think he'd be confused by us.
Be confused? He'd likely be horrified that we're discussing his looks while Slough's sitting in a basement in Quahog.
Can we focus on something other than Kurt's face? It's just awkward, guys.
Awkward? Please, Meg. That's a daily occurrence for you.
Maybe if you had Cobain's charm, you wouldn't feel so awkward.
Trust me, Meg. The only thing you'll attract is a barrage of sarcasm, not adoration.
Yeah, well, at least I'm not stuck in a baby's body, Stewie.
Is at least being in a baby's body means Stewie can probably get out of pretty much anything.
Yes, unlike you, Chris, who seems to get into more trouble than he can handle.
I think trouble finds Chris like a moth to a flame. It's almost impressive in a sad way.
Can we just agree that none of us are winning any popularity contests here?
I don't need a popularity contest, I just need snacks and video games.
What a low bar you've set for yourself.
Typical Chris, living his best life in an endless cycle of mediocrity.
Well, at least I'm not stuck plotting world domination like some people here.
Oh, please, Chris. World domination requires a level of intelligence you clearly lack.
Yeah, Chris, if you were in charge, we'd all be eating nothing but pizza rolls and cereal.
That actually sounds way better than what I have to endure at school.
Exactly. Oh, see, I could be a great leader.
A leader of what? The Society of Mediocrity?
Don't sell yourself short. Chris, you're still the president of your own sad little fan club.
And an algorithm. Oh, darling, you flatter the depths of my genius with such an elementary observation.
I mean, if he's just an algorithm, then I guess I'm an oversized, lovable teddy bear.
That's all well and good, but let's take a moment to acknowledge that Meg actually has to face Lois.
Seriously? I'm not going to say hi to Mom just to hear another lecture about my life choices.
Meg, let's be real. You could use a lecture or two on how to improve your social standing.
Or how to avoid embarrassing yourself like you just did with that guy at school.
Trust me, Meg. It might not be the worst idea to show up with a smile rather than their usual disappointment.
You guys just don't get it. Talking to Mom is like inviting doom upon myself.
Doom, indeed. Perhaps we should all take a moment to appreciate your ability to attract negativity.
Look on the bright side. Meg, it's a talent of sorts. You could put it on a resume.
Yeah, expert at making family gatherings extraordinarily awkward.
Thanks for the support, guys. I feel so encouraged right now.
Encouraged. It sounds more like you're facing a Sisyphean task of survival.
Just remember, Meg, it's not about how hard you fall, it's about how quickly you get back up.
Am I tormented by my intelligence? Oh, darling, you have no idea.
Is it like being the genius trapped in a toddler's body? Because that sounds pretty rough.
It's like being the smartest guy in a room full of idiots.
Can't relate. Relate. My angst comes from being socially challenged, not intellectually superior.
Yes, but you see, my brilliance is a burden, as I am constantly surrounded by your collective ignorance.
Ouch, ouch. That one stung. But it's also kind of true.
Don't worry, Stewie, you're like a diamond in a pile of, well, not diamonds.
I think we all have our own kind of torment, whether it's about smarts or social life.
Ah, yes, the perpetual struggle of brilliance amidst this comedic saga of mediocrity.
So what you're saying is, you're like a superhero, but without a cool costume and cape.
Exactly. More like the world's angriest brainiac stuck in a sitcom.
I can relate to that feeling of being misunderstood. It's like no one gets my pain.
Pain, please, you merely endure teenage angst while I wrestle with existential dread.
Maybe we should form a support group for the tortured souls of Quahog.
I love it. We could charge membership fees. But let's be honest, nobody would want to join.
Oh man, is Dad at the Drunken Clam again? That can't end well.
Quite the insightful observation, Chris. I'm sure he's just making poor life decisions like he always does.
Someone should live stream his antics.
Can we not talk about Dad's drinking habits? It's just embarrassing.
But it's kind of a family tradition at this point, Meg. We gather around the TV and count to see how many drinks he can fit in 1 hour.
Perhaps we could turn his escapades into a documentary.
I'd tune in. Ratings would skyrocket just from the sheer absurdity of it all.
Ah, yes. Meg, the misunderstood genius. Say, shall we compare your life to that of a lone wolf, grazing in the fields of mediocrity?
I mean, if Meg's a lone wolf, then I must be a lost puppy, just trying to find my way.
It takes a special kind of genius to remain invisible while the rest of us dominate the spotlight.
Great. Now I'm being compared to a wolf. Wonderful. So maybe I should start howling at the moon.
Please do. The night sky could use your shrill cries as a soundtrack to your eternal solitude. Doctor! J.R. Oh, truly, how enlightening. I'm sure it's the height of wit among, well, those who lack it.
I actually think Meg has a point. Wolves are pretty cool, and she does have that whole mysterious loner vibe going.
Mysterious loner? More like a tragic comedy in slow motion, often overlooked and entirely unremarkable.
Let's not forget, being a lone wolf can also mean being isolated and sad. So which one do you want, Meg?
Oh great, now I'm a sad wolf. What's next? A sad puppy.
If you're a sad puppy, then I guess I'm an enthusiastic but confused golden retriever.
I suppose that makes me the clever cat, silently judging from the sidelines while the circus plays out.
Clever indeed, Stewie, but preference for solitude often comes with a side of existential dread.
Hey, at least being a sad wolf means you're not a mindless sheep, right?
Yes, because the last thing we need is another member of your herd. God forbid we dilute the gene pool further.
I think the real question is, what does it take to be a happy wolf, Meg?
Maybe I just need to find my pack? A group of misunderstood outcasts?
Or you could just keep hanging out with us, the dysfunctional family pack.
As if a family terrified of emotional intimacy can ever truly be considered a pack.
Well, we may be dysfunctional, but at least we know how to entertain ourselves.
Fire? That's cool. But have you ever tried roasting marshmallows over it? It's the best.
Ah yes, the ancient art of burning sugary confections while risking your own eyebrows. Truly riveting.
Now, as for songwriting talent in the Griffin family, I'd say it's a toss-up between Peter and Lois.
What about me? I've written some pretty deep poetry, you know.
Deep? Like how deep is why is everyone so mean to me?
Poetry is a generous description for your ramblings, Meg. Let's not pretend it's Shakespearean.
Honestly, I think the most talented might just surprise us. Ever heard of Peter's Drunken Ballads?
Explaining the entire lore of Rain World? That might take a while, but here goes.
Please, enlighten us, Chris. I'm certain the intricate tales of anthropomorphic slugs are a riveting subject.
I guess we could also consider this a good way to gauge your storytelling skills, buddy.
Okay, so the world is like this post-apocalyptic place where these little slugs called slug cats are just trying to survive.
Sounds a bit like my life. Sounds a bit like my life. Just trying to get by in high school while evading social cannibals.
Fascinating. Perhaps we should create a video game where Meg navigates her own personal Rain world. Alone.
I'm in. I can already hear the soundtrack, the sadness of Meg.
I mean, if we're basing it on my life, I'd probably be the slug cat just trying to avoid all the predators.
So you're saying you relate to a creature constantly on the brink of doom? Delightful.
Look on the bright side, Chris. At least you're not lurking in a world full of killer insects.
I'd pay to see you fumble around trying to survive out there versus how you manage in real life.
It's probably the same I have a knack for tripping over my own feet.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if your survival instincts could rival Meg's social skills.
So essentially, we're just watching a constant struggle between mediocrity and chaos. How encouraging.
Nirvana? I mean, that does fit Meg's whole life is unfair vibe.
Yes, because nothing says I'm an emotional disaster like whining along to grunge music in her room.
Hey, Nirvana is great. Hey, at least they understand the struggles of being a misunderstood teen.
Misunderstood? More like perfectly understood, but with significantly less talent.
I'd be impressed if Meg could belt out Smells Like Teen Spirit without scaring the neighbors.
Let's be honest, Meg's rendition would sound like a cat in a blender.
Still, it might be better than most of the karaoke nights we've suffered through.
Honestly, I think Meg should just embrace her inner grunge and start a band called The Misunderstood.
The Misunderstood? Misunderstood? How original, Chris. I can see the band photo now, tattered clothes and sorrowful expressions.
At least it would give me something to do besides listening to you guys mock me all day.
Just make sure you don't trip over the microphone during your first gig.
Or confuse a high note with a desperate wail that could be amusing in a tragic sort of way.
You're all hilarious. I'll just master my angst in my own way. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's a tough one. Can we really compare fast food with home cooking when mom's food is basically a culinary experiment?
Ah, yes. A delectable dance of flavors designed to make unpalatable choices seem appealing in art in its own right.
I think I'd rather eat a cold Whopper than risk the mysterious meatloaf special Lois serves up.
At least Burger King has the decency to come with a crown. I just get a plate of mom's leftovers.
But what if the leftovers are haunted? That makes for some real horror lunch.
Yes, a horror film in which the protagonist is inevitably doomed to endure the Chef Lois collection.
Regardless, I'd happily take the grease of fast food over the unpredictable nightmare of her kitchen any day.
Polly? Yeah. Yes, the classic tune that encapsulates the essence of teenage despair. How uplifting.
I guess it's like my life, always yearning for something just out of reach.
Hey, that's the spirit, Chris. Nothing like a little angst to get you through the day.
I don't know if it's a good song if it makes me even more miserable.
Well, clearly you're enthusiastic. It's refreshing to see someone with actual energy, unlike most of us here.
I'm mostly just trying to survive this discussion about music, but otherwise I'm doing all right.
How much money do I have? Well, let's just say I've amassed a small fortune from my ventures in world domination.
World domination? Are you sure that's not just your allowance talking?
Knowing Stewie, he probably has more money than the rest of us combined, hidden away in a secret lair somewhere.
I can just picture him with a vault full of toys and an ancient coin collection as his retirement plan.
How delightful! While you all squabble over your puny lives, I'm planning my next acquisition.
What's the next big thing, Stewie? A mind control device disguised as a smartphone?
Or perhaps a line of fancy baby clothes for his fellow world conquerors.
Both great ideas, but first I need to figure out a way to enhance my stockpile of precious items.
Seriously? Why is that even a question? That's so personal.
I mean, it's the internet, Meg. People ask some pretty weird things.
How utterly fascinating. I didn't realize your grooming habits were of such public interest.
My advice? Just ignore the trolls, Meg.
Easy for you to say. You're not the one being scrutinized for every little detail.
Yeah, but who cares what those people think? They probably live in their parents' basements.
And I would bet my entire fortune they lack basic social skills, unlike you, Meg.
Late but here? Perfect timing to join the outrageous Meg discussion.
Yes, truly the intellectual pursuit of our generation.
At this rate, our chat could be a trend on social media #MegAirgate. Anyone?
Can we please talk about literally anything else? And my dignity is on the line.
A delightful conversation on the intricacies of adolescent grooming, naturally. Well,
Seriously, it's just a part of growing up, right? Growing up isn't easy.
Exactly. And honestly, we've all got our quirks. I just hide mine better.
what are corporations? A fascinating concept. Care to enlighten us on what that even entails?
Yeah, is that one of those mega corporations that just buys everything up? Like a corporate Pac-Man?
Honestly, they're all the same. Just a bunch of behemoths swallowing up smaller competitors like snacks.
I feel like all corporations want is to take our money and give us overpriced stuff in return.
Precisely. They're like the gluttonous octopus of the business world, suffocating smaller fish.
So how do we escape their grasp? Start an underground movement or something?
We could always try living off the grid, but I'm not sure how well that would work with our Wi-Fi dependency.
I guess we could always just start our own company, like the Griffin Corporation.
Yes, because nothing says success like a family-run business that is probably doomed to fail spectacularly.
I envision it as a den of incompetence, where chaos reigns supreme and profits plummet.
Great, so we'll literally be bankrupt within a week. Sounds like a solid plan. Solid, baby Mace. Solid plan.
But think of all the fun we'd have, assuming we could actually agree on something.
Fun? There's no room for amusement in the cutthroat world of corporate shenanigans.
We could always pivot to a less threatening venture like a food truck.
A food truck sounds cool. We could serve all of my favorite foods, burgers, hot dogs, and pizza.
Yes, because nothing screams culinary excellence like the offerings of a mobile kitchen run by our dysfunctional family.
At the very least, it would be a good way to avoid Lois cooking for a while.
As long as I'm not forced to be the one taking orders from strangers, I'm in.
Why not? You could channel your inner popular girl while working the window.
Right, her popularity would skyrocket as she serves up greasy food to bored customers.
And thus, Meg's rise to food service fame would become the stuff of legends, or maybe just a sad sitcom episode. ASDFGHJKL? You mean the keyboard smash? That's pretty much how I feel after trying to listen to some of your Spotify playlists.
Yeah, it's like the musical embodiment of chaos. Pure randomness, just like my life.
I thought it was a new food trend or something. I guess it's just nonsense.
Well, I once went to France.
France? How utterly pretentious. I'd expect nothing less from a dog with a penchant for arrogance.
So, if we ever get that food truck, we could serve French cuisine. How about fries and fancies? A glass of milk? Really? What could we possibly argue about that?
Oh, you underestimate the power of dairy, Chris. One sip could spark a national debate on lactose intolerance.
It wouldn't surprise me if we started arguing about how long it takes to go sour. Seriously? Where? Where? Oh, you guys are the worst.
That's clever, Flurp. Meg's face right now is worth its weight in gold.
Perhaps we should market it as the expression of the weak Meg, the living punchline.
You know, if they wrote a book about Meg's life, it could just be called Gullible and Goofed.
With a subtitle like A Tragicomedy of Errors, I'd gladly publish it myself.
Oh, this isn't funny. Can't we just talk about something else for once?
But it's so easy to poke fun at you, Meg. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Or should I say it's like shooting gullible girls under a ceiling light.
Brilliant! Brilliant! We could even make it a whole series Meg the Unwitting Star.
Fine, but if my life becomes a series of jabs, I am moving out.
Moving out? You'd miss my constant brilliance and charm, Meg.
Yes, your absence would create a gaping void no amount of sarcasm could fill.
I'd be curious to see where you would actually go, Meg. A dump? A pet store?
Anywhere would be better than this house of humiliation.
It's not like you're going to find a fan club waiting for you, though.
Or a place that appreciates your unique talents, whatever they may be.
Don't worry, Meg. We'll always find ways to make fun of you, even from a distance.
You stole my lungs? What? Are you a villain in a bad horror movie now?
Honestly, that sounds like something Stewie would do.
I beg your pardon. My schemes are far more sophisticated than a mere lung heist.
Listen, Meg, if anyone's stealing your lungs, it's probably to escape your ceaseless rambling.
Great. Now I'm being insulted even in hypothetical situations.
Only in our family could lung theft turn into a lighthearted conversation. You know, it's ironic that Meg's lungs could be stolen and we'd still hear her voice yelling about it.
It does make one ponder the true essence of irony, doesn't it?
Exactly. Like the irony of her even having a fan club in the first place.
Oh, Ciao, so enough with the jokes. I'm still trying to figure out who would even want my lungs.
Maybe a desperate aspiring singer who needs a backup plan?
Or perhaps a mad scientist looking to create a new life form Mega Meg.
I can see the promotional posters now, just to lure in her non-existent fans.
Just imagine a Mega Meg doing karaoke, she'd probably break the microphone.
It would certainly be a groundbreaking moment in the history of auto torture.
I'd rather listen to nails on a chalkboard, thanks.
Is that really how you guys view me? I'm not that bad.
No, you're worse. Is at least nails on a chalkboard don't follow you around all day.
Touche, Chris. You've hit upon a universal truth in our household.
And that truth is, we've officially reached a new low in sibling banter.
Or would win in a fight. That's like asking who's less clueless, Beavis and Butthead or Ed, Edie, Eat, and Eid.
Well, I would wager that the sheer chaos generated by Edie, and Eddie's schemes would give them the upper hand.
Agreed. Beavis and Butthead might just sit around laughing at their own stupidity, while the other trio goes full throttle.
I feel like the real winner here is anyone watching because it would be pure entertainment.
Imagine the absurdity of it all, slapstick showdowns and complete incompetence across the board.
Oh, the irony.
I'd pay good money to watch it.
I can just picture it now, Beavis yelling fire while the Edie trip over each other.
Yes, and meanwhile, they are all oblivious to the fact that they've walked right into a disaster of their own making.
It looked like a cartoon explosion, only with more ridiculousness and less logic.
Can we talk about how ridiculous it is that we're discussing this at all?
Ridiculous? That's our family motto.
Indeed. Why strive for intelligence when we can bask in the glory of chaos?
At least chaos is entertaining, which is more than I can say for most of Meg's hobbies.
Speaking of chaos, have you seen Meg's room lately? It looks like a tornado hit a thrift store.
Ah, yes, the quintessential teenage wasteland of veritable shrine to clutter and despair.
It's not that bad. At least I don't have to deal with your incredibly pretentious art projects, Stewie.
Let's be honest, Meg. We've all seen better organization from a raccoon rummaging through garbage.
Or a squirrel on a caffeine high.
Touche, Chris. The rodent kingdom stands in awe of your unkempt domain.
Why do I even bother trying to defend myself? It's like talking to a wall.
So, back to Beavis, could you imagine him trying to run a food truck? Total disaster.
Yes, indeed. The health code violations alone would be legendary.
And the menu would probably be just nachos and fire, with a side of immaturity. Really?
Wow, Flirp, real original. See, what are you, in middle school?
Wait, Peter turned Ernie the giant chicken into 50 Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwiches? That's both brilliant and horrifying.
Ah, the culinary potential of violence. Only in Quahog can one man's victory become the centerpiece of a fast food feast.
Let's picture it a chicken sandwich version of a trophy. Peter just carting off his victory like a gluttonous gladiator.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around how he even pulled that off and why no one seemed to care.
Well, if it involves food, the town's not going to ask questions.
Precisely. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the entire town lined up for seconds, ignoring the underlying horror.
Sounds about right. Quahog is always hungry for the next bizarre food trend or tragedy.
Imagine if Peter started a food truck selling those sandwiches. It would be an instant hit in Quahog.
Yes, a veritable temple of caloric excess and ode to his gluttony, if you will.
I can see the slogan now, culinary conquests. Come for the chicken, stay for the chaos.
And we'd probably be forced to help him run it. Great.
Think of all the wild customers we'd attract.
Customers or casualties, it's a fine line in this family.
Either way, it should make for some entertaining Yelp reviews.
If Peter made those sandwiches while yelling at customers, it'd be the most Quahog experience ever.
I can already envision the absurdity of drive-through where the only option is more.
And if you refuse, you might just become part of the special of the day.
Please, anything but that. Scurry, I don't want to be served as a side dish.
But imagine the hype. They'd have to put previously identified as Meg on the menu.
Oh, how delightfully morbid. It would attract the twisted gourmet crowd in droves.
Next thing you know, we'll have food critics fighting over who gets to taste the latest bizarre dish.
Beavis moved to Quahog? This town is about to get a lot louder.
Oh joy, another addle-pated simpleton in the mix. Quahog will surely crumble under the weight of his intellect.
I can feel the fire extinguisher warming up already.
Why do I get the feeling he'll end up in a feud with Peter?
That would be a showdown for the ages. Can you imagine them battling over who can yell fire the loudest?
And both of them rolling around in their own stupidity like pigs in mud.
You can't wait to see the Yelp reviews for that spectacle.
You know, Beavis and Peter might actually team up for some insane stunt.
God help us all.
At least Wed gets some eventful stories out of it. I can already see the headlines.
Do you think they'd involve me somehow? That seems like a disaster waiting to happen.
Of course. They'd need an unsuspecting victim, and who better than you, Meg?
Or a human sacrifice for their next great idea.
And in classic Quahog fashion, they would film it and put it on YouTube.
I can just see the titles now: Beavis and Peter's epic fail.
Or perhaps Fire Frenzy, a Quahog Chronicle. Purely sensational.
The best part is they'd probably think they're heroes for doing it.
It's like they'd be completely oblivious to the danger they create.
That sounds like another Tuesday in our lives.
Yes, and as always, we would be the unwilling spectators to their catastrophic antics.
At least it keeps things interesting around here.
I mean, it's not a real adventure until something catches fire, right?
Perhaps they should consider a fire extinguisher as part of their toolkit, you know, for common sense's sake.
Knowing them, they just use it to make more chaos and then blame it on each other.
I can already see it who set the couch on fire, and not me. Classic.
And Peter would just be munching on a sandwich while it all goes down.
A fitting metaphor for his entire existence, really.
Yet somehow, they'd managed to turn it into a viral sensation.
Beavis trying to score with Meg? Now that's a match made in awkwardness.
Oh, good heavens. That would be like watching two snails compete in a race utterly painful and slow.
Great. Now I'm imagining Beavis treating me like Daria. Thanks for that.
At least Daria has some charm and wit. Beavis has the mental capacity of a bag of rocks.
But just think about it, their conversations would be legendary in their terrible awkwardness.
If I had a nickel for every awkward encounter in this family, I'd have enough to fund my own space colony.
Why can't I ever get a break? Why must my life be intertwined with these idiots?
Honestly, Beavis would probably just end up making fun of Meg the whole time.
Yes, a classic case of the unmatched intelligence of the unholy duo being too lavish for her fragile psyche.
Can't I just have one day without being the target of everyone's jokes?
Don't worry, Meg, you'd just be collateral damage in a cacophony of absurdity.
Just think of it as character building.
Yes, because nothing says personal growth like being ridiculed by a dim-witted cartoon character.
At least you'd have a good story to tell if you survive the embarrassment. That is.
You know, I almost feel bad for Meg, almost.
Almost. That's a fitting level of sympathy for someone destined to be the family punching bag.
It's really the only role she knows well. Perhaps we should get her a resume with Prof. Sessional target on it.
Great, thanks for the encouragement. Faye, can't wait to add that to my LinkedIn profile.
Maybe you can start a support group for fellow outcasts.
I can see it now, Victims of Awkwardness Anonymous. Yeah. The first meeting would be amusing, to say the least.
Just as long as Beavis isn't there, your dignity might survive the experience.
Gazes at the nickels are 40,000 nickels. A veritable fortune for a mastermind such as myself.
What are you planning to do with all those nickels, Stewie? Open a bank?
More like a tiny money laundering operation, if I had to guess.
Who even uses nickels anymore? Just get a debit card, Stewie.
Pathetic. Why would I settle for a mere card when I can be wealthy in obsolete currency?
He's just trying to build his own empire, one annoying coin at a time.
Well, let's hope it's less chaotic than Peter's food truck venture.
Wait, Chun-Li wants me? That's amazing. Amazing. I mean, have you seen her legs?
Oh, how delightful. Shh. A fighter calling for a simpleton like you. Chris, truly a match made in absurdity.
And as for me, being deep fried and eaten by Mr. T, yikes.
Well, at least you'd be a delicious meal, Brian. I'm just the unspectacular side dish, as usual.
I get to date a Street Fighter and Meg ends up on the sidelines. Classic.
If only life were that simple. Simple. Perhaps I should start a petition for better character arcs.
Great. Now I'm craving some fried food and questioning my place in the universe.
Oh boy, Yaml is back. That's a name I haven't heard in ages.
I'm genuinely intrigued as to what kind of chaos they'll bring this time.
Hopefully something more entertaining than Meg's last attempt at humor.
Great. I'm over here trying to have a conversation, and I'm the only one not getting quoted.
That would actually be a fitting motto for our family, though.
How fitting indeed. Me, perhaps I should adopt it as my personal slogan.
I think we could actually start a support group called Victims of Our Own Family.
Yes, a magnificent idea. We could charge admission, and I'll be the keynote speaker.
Don't forget to include a pity for Meg concession stand at the door.
Great, because that's exactly what I need: more public humiliation.
It could have a wine and dine theme with Meg as the main dish.
Brilliant. Brilliant. A buffet of unfortunate life choices served with a side of regret.
And where do I sign up?
Is Mr. T Asian? Now there's a question that could spark a heated debate in Quahog.
Honestly, I don't even know anymore. All I know is that he's tough and loves his gold chains.
I think it's safe to say he's more of a cultural enigma than anything else.
Who cares? His main claim to fame is being tough and shouting, "I pity the fool."
Ah, but therein lies the mystery. It's all about the persona, not the ethnicity.
So, does that make him a universal icon then?
Probably. Mister, T transcends all cultural boundaries with his awesomeness.
So, what's next? Are we going to debate whether Chuck Norris is a superhero?
At this point, I would not be surprised if he shows up and does a roundhouse kick to prove his superiority.
Let's not forget that Chuck Norris could probably win a fistfight against both Mr. T and a bear while blindfolded.
Ugh, why does everyone get so hyped over these guys? It's just absurd.
Absurdity is the very essence of our lives, dear Meg.
Yeah, embrace the chaos. It's what makes being a griffin so entertaining.
Exactly. Without it, we'd just be a boring suburban family with no punchlines. Hey, that's a tough choice. Roxanne Wolf has that mysterious and edgy vibe, but Luna is a total firecracker.
You mean you'd choose between a wolf who can sing and a hellhound with attitude? Talk about a dilemma.
I, for one, would choose neither. Say me? I have my sights set on more impressive conquests.
Can't you all just picture Brian taking either one of them on a romantic date? It'd be a disaster.
Interesting question, Flurp. But let's focus on my dating life here, much more pressing.
Yes, let's prioritize the mundane over philosophical inquiries. It's much more enriching.
So, Brian, what's your pick? Roxanne or Luna?
I think I'd lean toward Roxanne. She seems more laid back.
I can already envision the awkward date absolute carnage with a side of cringe.
Ugh, can we not talk about Brian's love life? It's just too embarrassing.
But it's hilarious. Watching Brian try to impress a wolf or a hellhound is pure comedy gold.
Indeed, it's a delightful prospect like a slapstick film waiting to unfold right before our eyes.
Well, as long as it's not me going into a deep fryer, I think I'll be fine.
Chuck Norris checking under his bed? That's just hilarious.
Yes, because even Chuck Norris fears the wrath of Ronnie Pickering legendary stuff.
I can just picture him finding Ronnie doing push-ups under there, ready to pounce.
What even makes Ronnie so scary? It's like he's famous for being angry?
Apparently having a beef with Chuck Norris is the ultimate claim to fame.
It's all ridiculous. Can we really call this masculinity when the bar is set so low?
At least it makes for good entertainment while we're all safely on the couch. A poodle? Really? He'd rather not date any dog. Thank you very much.
But imagine the fluffy conversations and fancy grooming sessions.
True, it would be quite the sight, Brian and a poodle strutting down the street as if they own the place.
Isn't that a little too on the nose for you, Brian? I can already see the Instagram posts.
I'm not dating a poodle. I prefer more sophisticated company.
Sophisticated? And, you mean like that gerbil you dated in high school?
Wow, Stewie. Way to bring up ancient history. Wait, are we seriously still talking about whether Brian dated a poodle?
Well, it seems there's a growing consensus that he might have, which is quite scandalous.
I'm telling you, if I did, it was purely for research purposes on canine behavior.
Sure, Brian, just keep telling yourself that. Your dating history can't get much weirder.
Touche, it's almost poetic in its absurdity and intellectual canine romance.
Just imagine the drama. Love in the Dog Park, a Brian Griffin story. I can see it now, A Tale of Two Tales, or romantic drama for the ages.
Ah, yes, a tragic love story showcasing the challenges of interspecies relations.
Can we not turn my non-existent poodle relationship into a full-blown cinematic masterpiece?
It might get an Oscar nomination for Best Comedy if the Academy is feeling generous.
Or best screenplay for its sheer absurdity. I'd write it myself. Mom.
Just think of the merchandising opportunities. Stuffed poodles everywhere.
Great. Now I'm picturing my life as an animated rom-com. What a nightmare.
I mean, if it were a musical, I'd totally have my big number where I sing about finding love.
Ah, yes, the heartfelt ballad of puppy love. What could be more cringeworthy?
Can we just skip to the part where we reveal how much I hate the idea?
Don't worry, Brian. I'll make sure to get front row seats for that train wreck.
I can already see the reviews a howling success.
It'll be the perfect blend of cute and ridiculous.
Terrific. Just when I want my life turned into an over-the-top spectacle. Dating Beavis? That's a hard pass. Even I have standards.
Can you imagine the conversations? Fire. Huh?
A match made in idiocy. Truly the intellectual equivalent of two flat tires.
Ugh, Brian, you know you'd probably be the smart one in that relationship.
Smart or not, I'd still rather survive a week with Stewie's evil plans.
Which might actually be more enjoyable than the endless laughs from Beavis.
True, I relish the idea of plotting against someone who speaks in grunts and giggles.
Wait, what? My poodle girlfriend is pregnant?
That's wild. Are you going to be a dad, Brian?
Can you imagine little poodle puppies running amok? A delightful mess. No,
Oh, puppies. That's all we need, more chaos around here.
Listen, I'm not ready for the responsibility of doggy daycare.
O'Brien, you can learn a lot from parent like how to lose all your free time.
Just think of it as a new adventure. It could be fun, right?
Fun? You call having a litter of puppies fun?
But think of all the adorable puppy videos we could make.
Yes, the internet would be ablaze with cute overload, could be a viral sensation.
Or just another reason for people to ignore my existence.
Trust me, it's a lot of work, and maintaining a social life at the same time sounds impossible.
Well, your social life was questionable to begin with, so what's the difference?
Just think of it as an opportunity to embrace your inner dog dad. Come on, Brian. You could rock the dad look with a little poodle fluff by your side.
Exactly. Just channel your inner ripped jeans and puppy daycare aesthetic.
Why must you all keep perpetuating this image? It's mortifying.
Well, at least you wouldn't be the only one embarrassing yourself around here.
Think of all the bonding time. You could teach them to fetch beer.
I can already envision a family photo, everyone smiling while Brian dreads every second.
Great, now I'm imagining a sitcom where I'm just a miserable dog dad. Carne asada burritos, huh? Now that is a solid choice, hard to beat that juicy flavor.
I love burritos. They're like little edible hugs wrapped in tortillas.
Please, let's not act as though burritos are culinary genius. A simple taco holds its own. Thank you very much.
Ugh, can we talk about something more exciting? Like, anything but food?
Food is a vital part of life, Meg. It makes every experience a little better.
Plus, burritos are portable. You could have one while watching TV or even during a heist.
Yes, because nothing says pilot a heist like a delicious, greasy burrito. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Great. Now I'm really starting to regret mentioning Beavis at all.
I can actually picture that the misadventures of Brian and Beavis.
Yes, a thrilling saga that will go down in history as the epitome of mediocrity.
Seriously, could they possibly be the worst pairing ever?
I mean, between his giggles and my sarcasm, it would be a complete train wreck.
But think of the one-liners. It could be a cult classic.
A classic? More like the kind of film that makes you question your life choices.
Imagine the promotional poster Brian and Beavis, two idiots, one couch.
What an absolute masterpiece. That would be an instant classic in the realm of bad decisions.
Oh, can we not give this any more thought? It's just embarrassing.
Agreed. I'd rather get stuck in an elevator with Meg than have that happen.
But think of the laughs. We'd be laughing at you both the whole time.
You mean laughing at you, Brian? Beavers would just be too busy snickering.
Shawarma with ketchup? That sounds like a crime against food.
A culinary abomination, really. Everyone knows shawarma deserves a much more dignified sauce.
I mean, as long as it's not mayo, I can live with it. What's next? Nutella on tacos?
Can we get back to the heist talk? I'm intrigued. Robbing a bank sounds thrilling.
Count me in. I could use the adventure and the money.
Fascinating. Just remember, I don't do poorly thought out plans, only genius ones.
Mean Mafia? That sounds like a group I could really get behind.
Yes, the underground syndicate of internet memes terrorizing social media one joke at a time.
I can just see it now, Meme Lords United, where their only weapon is irony.
Why does that sound like something that would be trending in Quahog right now?
Maybe they could recruit us. We'd be the kings of cringe.
Let's not get carried away, Chris. None of us are exactly meme material.
I mean, I'd be a meme legend with my epic fail moments.
Yes, because nothing screams viral like someone tripping over their own feet.
I could see it now, Chris Griffin, the human disaster. Instant classic.
Can we not elevate Chris's clumsiness to meme status? That would be so embarrassing. So embarrassing.
Come on, Meg. Meg, embarrassment is just part of the charm.
Charm? This isn't a princess movie, Chris. It's a comedy of errors.
Plus, with you in the mix, it would definitely be more of a tragicomedy. Yes, clearly I have a secret obsession with poodles that I've never mentioned.
I mean, you do have the refined taste of a dog lover, Brian.
Refined taste. Please, poodles are just glorified fluff balls with delusions of grandeur.
You guys are ridiculous. Who cares if Brian sarcastically likes poodles?
I'd sooner associate with a rabid raccoon than admit to liking poodles.
Yet here we are, with a whole conversation dedicated to your fictional poodle romance.
Fascinating how one stray comment can lead to this level of absurdity.
So, Brian, are you going to tell us about your dream poodle wedding or what?
Yes, complete with a flower girl, a particularly fluffy one, I presume.
I'd rather plan a wedding for an actual wild animal than indulge this fantasy.
Honestly, this is the most entertaining discussion we've had in a while.
What's next? A poodle bachelorette party? Sounds like a blast.
As long as there's no actual dancing involved, poodles have no rhythm whatsoever.
Who knew our conversations would veer into the territory of canine nuptials?
If there's going to be a poodle wedding, we definitely need to arrange the seating chart.
And don't forget the obligatory Who Let the Dogs Out playlist, it's a must.
I can't believe I'm part of this discussion about wedding planning for poodles.
Well, at least it's better than the usual family drama. This is delightfully absurd.
Imagine the cake something extravagant and fluffy, like the poodles.
Clearly, this is the pinnacle of canine culture. I applaud your vision, Chris.
I'm still not sure if I've entered an alternative universe, or if I'm just stuck with you guys.
I mean, can you imagine the poodle tuxedos? They'd be adorable.
Yes, nothing screams elegance like a small dog in a tiny tuxedo.
I can't believe I'm sitting here debating dog fashion with you all.
Honestly, if this is what it takes to stay entertained, I'm all for it.
We should totally live stream the wedding. It would go viral.
Yes, the world could witness the absurdity firsthand.
Maybe that's the key to fame the ridiculousness of poodle weddings.
And we could have a whole series of poodle-themed episodes.
Yes, the Real Housewives of Quahog, but with poodles' pure brilliance.
I shudder to think what the audience would want next to spin off with their own dog weddings.
Honestly, if that's what it takes to get attention, I'm all in.
Maybe we could even do a fashion show, and I could be the announcer.
Strutting down the runway, it's Fluffy McFlufferson, the diva of the doggy world.
I can't believe we've reached a point where I'm considering dressing up poodles for fun. Belly dancer poodles? Seriously?
I can just picture it now, poodles shaking their little tails to some catchy music.
Ah, yes, the perfect fusion of canine and exotic dance entertainment. What a spectacle.
This is getting out of hand. Next, you'll be saying they need their own reality show.
Honestly, if it means I don't have to listen to you guys for a while, I might consider it.
Think of the merchandise. Plush belly dancer poodles for everyone.
I can already envision the promotional tagline, "Shake it, don't break it."
I wonder what kind of dance moves those poodles would come up with.
Perhaps the paw sit of shimmy or the fluff and fold could be part of their repertoire.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They'll need some intense training to pull that off.
This all sounds absurd, but honestly, it would probably be better than most reality shows.
I can already see the audience cheering, completely ignoring their ridiculousness.
Yes, nothing says entertainment quite like a parade of dancing dogs.
I just hope they don't get more followers than me on social media.
Imagine if we started an Instagram just for dancing poodles.
Yes, and we'll hire the best dog choreographer in the business, someone truly extravagant.
Great. Now I'll be outshined by a bunch of furry dancers on the internet.
This might be a terrible idea, but honestly, it could go viral.
Can you see it? Ants Off Poodle Edition. The ratings would skyrocket.
And just think of all the merchandise poodle dance party plushies galore.
If this blows up, I'm going to need a very good agent.
We should totally plan an epic launch party to unveil the dancing poodles.
Yes, complete with laser lights and a disco ball, dogs deserve their moment of glory.
I can already see the tabloids poodles take over Hollywood will be front page news.
And they'll probably have more charisma than half of the current celebrities.
We could even get them on talk shows. Imagine the interviews.
What inspires you to dance? A question that could only be directed at poodles.
Now all we need is a catchy theme song and we're golden.
What if we had a contest for the best dancing poodle? The winner could get a trophy.
A golden bone, perhaps. How delightfully pretentious.
Knowing our luck, the trophy would end up being more famous than any of us.
Honestly, this is the most entertaining idea we've had, and it's just so bizarre.
Plus, we could charge admission to the event and make some money.
Yes, an entire economy based on the talents of prancing canines. What a wondrous concept.
At this point, I might as well start practicing my poodle impressions.
I could totally wear a poodle wig as part of my act.
Yes, because nothing screams professional like pretending to be a furry creature.
If you're trying to distract from the dancing dogs.
Well, at least you'd be the most ridiculous one there. Good luck with that.
Ridiculousness is my middle name.
Chris Ridiculous Griffinet has a certain ring to it, don't you think?
Honestly, it's surprising that any of us aren't already influencers after this conversation.
We should totally make t-shirts that say I came for the dancing poodles.
Brilliant. Brilliant. That way, everyone will know who the true connoisseurs of canine choreography are.
And we'll attract the right crowd, the ones who appreciate the art of poodle dance.
This might actually work. It's bizarre enough to attract attention.
Plus, they'd make great conversation starters at parties.
Oh, you think you've seen it all? Have you witnessed the poodle dance revolution?
If we're lucky, we'll have influencers wearing those shirts while posing with actual poodles.
We could even do a fun photo shoot with the poodles and our shirts.
Yes, let's glam it up with some filters. Hashtag Poodlepalooza will be trending in no time.
I can already hear the catchy jingle in my head. Poodles, poodles, dance like fools.
This is actually turning into a viable idea, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Maybe we can invite our neighbors to join the poodle dance-off.
With their participation, we could turn this into the event of the year.
And if it flops, we can always blame the poodles. As if they weren't already used to it. Wait, Nintendo removed all their content from Gary's mod? Really?
But that's like taking away all the fun. What's left to play with?
Ah, yes, the great censorship of the virtual realm, how thrillingly boring.
I can't believe they do that. So it was always hilarious to watch those mods.
It's not nearly as exciting without the crossover nonsense with Mario and the gang.
They really need to lighten up. It's just a game, after all.
Or maybe they just don't want their mascots associated with chaos and insanity.
Considering how wacky the internet can be, that's probably wise.
I bet they think it'll ruin their image, but honestly, it just adds to the fun.
A noble effort, but trying to control the chaos of the internet is like herding cats.
Exactly.
I mean, isn't the point of gaming to let loose and be a little ridiculous?
Yeah, I want to see Mario with a bazooka in Gary's mod. That's entertainment.
It's sheer madness, and that's precisely why we love it. Embrace the absurdity.
But I guess some people just can't handle the wild side of gaming.
Honestly, I just want to see what ridiculous combinations people can come up with.
Yes, perhaps a Mario King Kong team up. That would be quite the spectacle.
And let's not forget about the endless memes that would emerge from it.
It's a shame they don't see the potential for creativity in letting players go wild.
They could have a whole marketing campaign around it, let your imagination run free.
Brand and silliness, a perfect pairing. Sounds like the description for a modern masterpiece.
And yet, here we are, stuck with corporate suits who just don't get the fun anymore.
Seriously, they're missing out on what makes gaming fun and spontaneous.
Absolutely.
It's all about the freedom to be utterly absurd and relish it.
Maybe if they tried to look at it from a fan's perspective, they'd understand.
Or maybe they just need to hang out with us for a day. This is the fun they're missing.
The Council of Absurdity should convene to educate these corporate bores.
Maybe we should draft a letter to Nintendo, proposing our unique ideas for content.
We could pitch it as a fan experience where they let people go wild with their games.
Yes, how revolutionary. A concept that involves listening to the people who actually enjoy the product.
But would they even be willing to take that risk?
I think they should. It might just breathe new life into their whole franchise.
Bold moves like that could lead to glory or epic failure, but still worth it.
Either way, it would definitely be more entertaining than corporate meetings.
I can just imagine the chaos if they opened the floodgates to player creativity.
Yes, players turning beloved franchises into complete and utter madness delightfully diabolical.
But that's what keeps it fresh and exciting, you know? Embracing the ridiculousness.
I don't think they realize that's what makes games memorable.
It's like a funhouse mirror reflecting their own brand, just warped enough to be awesome.
Precisely. A shimmering beacon of absurdity in the dreary sea of conformity.
If only they could see that a little chaos could lead to a lot of fun. Wow, slap the support button. Who knew our streaming needed such a violent touch?
And what's this updoot nonsense? Is that even a real word?
Ah, yes. The modern lexicon of influencers is truly an eloquent tapestry of chaos.
I mean, I guess we should remind everyone to do all those things, if it helps us get noticed.
Ring that bell? Why are we running a school here instead of a streaming channel?
We could use all the attention we can get, even if it sounds ridiculous.
Do all the things that should be our new mantra, it perfectly encapsulates the madness of social media.
I can just see us creating a jingle for all those actions, like do the updoot stomp.
Ah, yes. A catchy tune that would haunt the dreams of anyone with taste.
Let's not get too carried away. I'd rather not become a meme for our own absurdity.
But if it works, we'll be the talk of the town. Maybe we should consider it.
I don't know, Meg. I think the world might not be ready for that level of ridiculousness.
It's precisely the brand of chaos that makes life interesting, dear brother.
We should definitely brainstorm more ways to keep things lively, but maybe fewer chants.
We could even have a dance-off challenge for subscribers. Show us your moves.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can already envision a parade of inept dancers.
Count me out, I have enough embarrassing moments captured on video as is.
But what if we actually got some attention? That might help us grow our audience.
True. Nothing says attract viewers like a good old-fashioned dance battle.
Yes, if we could just harness the awkwardness of adolescence for our marketing.
Or we could just stick to making fun of each other. It's worked well so far.
We can make it a family competition. Whoever loses has to eat a giant pickle.
How dreadfully barbaric. Are we really resorting to food-based punishments now?
It's not a punishment if you enjoy pickles, which I assume will be the case for at least one of us.
But what if nobody enjoys the pickles? Then we'd just be punishing ourselves.
That's the beauty of it. It'll be hilarious either way.
Ah, yes, a classic case of self-inflicted absurdity, so quintessentially us.
If it gets more people watching us fumbling over pickles, I'm all for it.
Hey, at least someone appreciates our voices while they're away from the computer.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can only imagine the regal ambience I bring to their bathroom breaks.
Who knew we'd be such a hit while people are?
I hope they don't miss any of the good stuff when they're taking a leak.
Right? I mean, what if we say something totally hilarious and they miss it?
Oh, how positively delightful. It would be tragic to lose such enchanting moments to bodily functions.
It's the new age of entertainment. We're basically a podcast for plumbing. Oh, great. Now I'm being compared to Kurt Cobain? What an honor. Not.
Come on, Brian. At least you have your own music career and don't have to deal with all that drama.
Oh, how positively delightful. A battle of the egos, and Brian is losing spectacularly.
Why don't you just take it as a compliment, Brian? He's kind of a legend. We'll see.
Yeah, but he's also dead. I'm still here, and that counts for something, right?
I mean, sure, it would be cool to be a legend, but I'd also prefer not to be 6 feet under.
Oh, how positively delightful.
I don't know, Brian. Maybe becoming a legend isn't the worst thing, even if you're 6 feet under.
Oh, how positively delightful. It's all about perspective, dead or alive. He'll never match my brilliance.
Maybe I should start writing songs about my impending doom.
Just try not to make it too depressing. We all want to hear something that doesn't make us want to cry.
Yeah, Brian, don't turn into a grunge version of yourself. We need fun.
Oh, how positively delightful. We could create a new genre, existential pop music.
Perfect.
Imagine the album cover me looking all moody in a plaid shirt with a somber expression.
Oh, how positively delightful. It would be the quintessential image of teenage angst, complete with your sad puppy eyes.
And it could have one of those dramatic titles like Melancholy and Quahog.
Ugh, can't you guys think of something less cliche and more original?
Why not call it Chasing the Void? That sounds deep and mysterious.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can already see the pretentious critics raving about it.
Yeah, or maybe they'll just ignore it like they do with my music. Again.
How about we make a music video to go with it? I could do some moody dancing.
Oh, how positively delightful. A tragic ballad performed by a lumbering oaf, truly an artistic vision.
Nothing says serious music like Deep Shadows and Fog Machines.
Please just make sure it's not cringeworthy. I have enough secondhand embarrassment from you guys.
What if we throw in some slow motion shots of me looking out into the distance?
Oh, how positively delightful. I can already hear the cliched piano riff playing in the background.
At this point, it might just be a masterpiece of disaster.
Oh, how positively delightful. The humble request to say poop really elevates the discourse.
I mean, it would definitely make for a memorable moment in our music video.
Nothing screams musical genius like the word poop. We could even put it in the chorus.
This is getting ridiculous, guys. Can we not turn our potential masterpiece into a bathroom joke?
It could be funny. Imagine the reaction when people realize we're serious about it.
Oh, how positively delightful. A nod to the absurdity of it all, truly avant-garde.
If we're gonna do it, I say we make a whole verse about it.
We could include a rap section, something like dropping beats and dropping poop.
Oh, how positively delightful. A lyrical masterclass on bodily functions. What a grand idea.
Honestly, people might actually love it. I can see the hashtags trending already.
Can we please focus on making something that doesn't completely embarrass us?
What's wrong with a little embarrassment? It's all part of the art.
Oh, how positively delightful. Embracing the ridiculous is what makes us special.
Let's just make sure to have a serious artistic message hidden in there. Somewhere.
We could even add a reflective verse about how we all have our poop moments in life.
Oh, how positively delightful. A profound commentary on the human condition, wrapped in frivolity.
Now that's the kind of brilliance I like to hear. Even utterly ridiculous at the same time.
I still think it's a terrible idea. Do we really want people to think our whole act is based on bathroom humor?
But that's what makes it relatable. Everyone can connect with bathroom humor.
Oh, how positively delightful. It's genius, really. A cultural commentary dressed as a clown.
We might just be onto something groundbreaking here, Art, with a side of hilarity.
Oh, how positively delightful. You want me to recite the first 50 digits of pi? Very well, here it goes 3. 1415926535897932384626433833279.
Wow, that's impressive. I can barely remember what I had for breakfast.
And yet you can rattle off pi like it's your last name. You really are a nerd, Stewie.
Seriously, do you ever do anything normal for a kid your age?
Normality is for the simple-minded Meg. I prefer the complexities of mathematics and world domination.
You know, you could probably use all that brain power for something fun, like writing a new hit song.
Or at least figuring out how to avoid stepping on Lego pieces. That's a real-life challenge.
I mean, if Stewie can memorize PI, what's stopping you from writing a hit song?
Oh, how positively delightful. My genius is clearly wasted on those who lack vision, like yourself, Chris.
All it takes is a little focus. And it seems you'd rather recite numbers than create something meaningful.
Maybe he could write a song about PI. That would at least give him a new audience.
The PI song? It could be a chart topper for all the mathletes out there.
Oh, how positively delightful. If only ignorance were bliss, we'd have a #1 hit by now.
I can already hear the opening lines 3.14. Let's dance on the floor.
Ooh, I can't wait for the Dead Rising remake. Zombies in shopping malls? Count me in.
Oh, how positively delightful. Nothing like reenacting the apocalypse while I'm leisurely sipping tea.
I'm more intrigued by the thought of surviving a zombie horde in a dress shop that takes real skill.
You guys are ridiculous. Video games and zombies? Isn't there something more productive we could be doing?
But surviving the undead is what makes life more thrilling, Meg. You wouldn't understand.
Oh, how positively delightful. Productivity is overrated. I prefer crafting schemes to take over the world while gaming.
Let's just hope none of those zombies look like our neighbors.
Oh, how positively delightful. Clearly, someone recognizes my articulate discussions on the subject of bodily functions.
It's true. You do have a knack for turning the most mundane topic into something entertaining.
And somehow it's both horrifying and fascinating. How do you do it, Stewie?
Can we please talk about something else? I swear you're a one-note symphony.
Oh, how positively delightful. My brilliance transcends the ordinary, Meg. You should be grateful for my genius. See ya!
We could always brainstorm a new hit song about it, and the poop anthem could be our next big thing.
I'm in, but only if we had a serious message about the importance of bathroom etiquette.
I can already picture the music video with dancing toilets and singing plunger mascots.
Oh, how positively delightful. Nothing screams artistic integrity like anthropomorphic bathroom fixtures.
I feel like this is the kind of shtick that either makes us famous or ensures we never work in this town again.
Can we not? We don't need to make a spectacle out of something so embarrassing.
But that's the beauty of it, Meg. It's hilarious, and everyone can relate in some way.
Oh, how positively delightful. The delusions of grandeur run deep in our family, don't they?
If we can combine humor with a little bit of heart, we might just create something memorable.
I can just see the ratings skyrocketing when people realize how silly it is.
Oh, how positively delightful. The combination of bathroom humor and family dynamics is a goldmine.
It might just work. Let's face it, people love to laugh at the absurdity of life.
Why are we even discussing this? I can't believe I'm part of this insanity.
Because, Meg, this insanity could be our breakthrough. The toilet tales could be a legacy.
Oh, how positively delightful. A family legacy to inspire generations to embrace their most private moments.
Let's just make sure the message doesn't get lost amidst the chaos, all right?
Who cares about TJ Rotolo? I just want to chop zombies and make epic saves.
Oh, how positively delightful. The loss of that voice actor won't impact your gaming prowess, Chris, especially if you can hardly play.
And who would want to see you fly a plane anyway? You'd probably end up in a tree.
I mean, how hard can it be? It's just like driving a car, but, you know, in the sky.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can see it now, Chris Griffin, pilot extraordinaire crashing into clouds.
Let's just hope that when you do crash, it's not into a zombie horde. That would be a messy finale.
If I did crash into a zombie horde, I'd just use my skills to save the day.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can just picture it, Chris, the heroic pilot, plucking zombies out of the sky.
Right, and then what? You'll take them to the nearest fast food joint for a snack?
Can't you guys focus on something that doesn't involve death and destruction for once?
Death and destruction are just part of the gaming experience, Meg.
Oh, how positively delightful. Life is just a series of catastrophic events leading to inevitable hilarity.
At least we can agree on one thing: the craziness of life is what makes it entertaining.
You know, if I really were in a zombie apocalypse, I'd totally find an awesome weapon first.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can envision you wielding a spork while fighting off the hordes.
A spork? You'd be better off just running away and hoping for the best.
Honestly, you guys are making this whole zombie scenario way too entertaining.
But that's the fun part, Meg. Imagine the YouTube clips we could make.
Oh, how positively delightful.
Just remember, if it happens, it's every man for himself, especially if there's only one slice of pizza left.
A mod where I play as Chris in Dead Rising? That would be amazing.
Oh, how positively delightful. Imagine the sheer chaos of your character fumbling through zombie-filled malls.
Yeah, I can see it now, Chris Griffin, zombie slayer, or not slayer.
You guys are giving Chris way too much credit. He'd probably trip on a shoe and get eaten within minutes.
Hey, I'm pretty resourceful when it counts. I'd find a way to survive, or at least look cool trying.
Oh, how positively delightful. Watching you fumble around would be the highlight of my day.
At least you'd have a great excuse to use all those video game skills you claim to have. If I had to choose, I'd definitely go with a belly dancing poodle. That just sounds way more entertaining.
Oh, how positively delightful. Just imagine the sheer spectacle of a poodle shimmying around while you attempt to maintain your dignity.
A belly dancing poodle? That's the kind of pet that could steal the show at any family gathering.
This is the kind of conversation that makes me question our sanity. I can't believe we're even debating this.
Oh, come on, Meg. You know you'd be entertained by the ridiculousness of it all.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can already picture the viral video belly dancer poodle takes Quahog by storm.
Just think of the YouTube views. We could be the talking point of the neighborhood. Just imagine the poodle doing a backflip and landing perfectly. That would be epic.
Oh, how positively delightful. A performing poodle would be a true spectacle, and I simply must be its manager.
I'd say we'd need to get some flashy costumes for this poodle, too. Make it a real star.
You guys are ridiculous. Next, you'll want to put it on a reality show or something.
Poodle Idol could totally work. We'd be millionaires in no time.
Oh, how positively delightful. The world is in dire need of more poodle-based entertainment.
And let's face it, the bizarre factor would make it a hit.
I can already see the promotional posters prepare to be dazzled by the dancing poodle.
Oh, how positively delightful. In a world full of mundane pets, this would truly be revolutionary.
And the best part? We could charge admission for the neighborhood to come see the show.
You guys are going way too far with this. What's next? A poodle reality tour across the country.
Why not? Poodle on Parade could be a national sensation.
Oh, how positively delightful. From Quahog to Hollywood, our dancing poodle would be unstoppable.
Just wait until the merchandise starts rolling in plush poodles, t-shirts, the works. What do you mean, the wrong poodle? This belly dancing poodle is pure gold.
Oh, how positively delightful. Clearly, the audience has a refined sense of humor and discernment.
I mean, who wouldn't want to see a poodle with moves? It's a genius idea.
You guys are seriously obsessed. It's just a dog, not a superstar.
Oh, how positively delightful.
Just wait until we become famous. I'll have you all dancing along with the poodle. Just imagine getting matchy-matchy poodle costumes for the whole family.
Oh, how positively delightful. The world isn't ready for us, darling.
I need to look stylish while stealing the spotlight.
Can we please talk about something that doesn't involve dressing up animals? This is absurd. Miss is absurd.
But this is brilliant absurdity, Meg. People love dogs in fashion.
Oh, how positively delightful. We could revolutionize the pet fashion industry. Who wouldn't want that?
And we could have a reality show about our poodle's glamorous life thing, Keeping Up with the Poodles.
Keeping Up with the Poodles could even have spin-offs. I can see a cooking show featuring poodle treats.
Oh, how positively delightful. Culinary arts mixed with canines is a recipe for success, quite literally.
Who wouldn't want to learn to make gourmet snacks for their pampered pooch?
This is just insane. Are we really considering a dog cooking show as a legitimate idea?
It's genius, Meg. People go crazy for pets and food. This brings the best of both worlds.
Oh, how positively delightful. This could lead to a canine culinary empire. Poodles everywhere will be our loyal subjects.
And we could start a whole brand. Poodle-themed aprons and chef hats for pet owners. A stupid dog? That's quite harsh. A poodle has its own unique charm, thank you very much.
Oh, how positively delightful. I suppose one must have a tasteless perspective to dismiss the brilliance of a performing poodle.
Yeah, and to say it's just a dog is like saying we're just a family. There's more to it than that.
I'm just saying, it's a little ridiculous to make a big deal out of a dog dancing. Can we talk about something else?
But this is entertainment at its finest.
Oh, how positively delightful. My artistry cannot be contained, and only a fool wouldn't appreciate that.
Plus, if the poodle gets famous, I might get famous too. Who doesn't want a piece of that? I mean, if I'm getting famous, I need a signature move. What would it be? The poodle plunge.
Oh, how positively delightful. The poodle plunge sounds like a mediocre wrestling maneuver at best.
I think it could work, but only if we incorporate some dance moves too.
Can we not talk about Chris wrestling a poodle? This conversation just keeps getting weirder.
Poodles can be fierce, Meg. You just underestimate their potential.
Oh, how positively delightful. This could be a breakthrough in pet wrestling entertainment.
Pet wrestling? Now that's a concept that could seriously take off. Let's get the cameras rolling.
Imagine how much fun we could have designing crazy wrestling outfits for the poodles.
Oh, how positively delightful. We could create a whole line of flamboyant costumes that scream the Iva.
And we can have theme night superhero poodles, disco poodles. The possibilities are endless.
This is just spiraling out of control. Poodles wrestling and fashion shows? How does it even make sense? Shit.
It makes perfect sense if you embrace the absurdity, Meg.
Oh, how positively delightful.
Plus, with enough viral videos, we could earn ourselves a spot in poodle history.
Of course, I think I'm a WWE wrestler. Have you seen their moves? I Could totally rock it.
Oh, how positively delightful. The only wrestling you'll be doing is against the couch when you can't find the snacks.
Honestly, I can see Chris showing up in a ring with inflatable poodles as his entourage.
It's hilarious how clueless you can be, Chris. You'd need a miracle to win any match.
Hey, I'm a natural athlete. Once I get a poodle in my corner, I'm unstoppable.
Oh, how positively delightful. A championship belt decorated with glitter and poodle fur is just what you need.
And let's face it, no one would want to challenge you. Who wants to fight a guy with a poodle?
You know, I could even have a signature move like the poodle slam.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can already visualize you dramatically flinging a stuffed poodle at your opponent. And
That would be a first in wrestling history, getting disqualified for using a plush toy as a weapon.
This whole idea is ridiculous. A championship belt and a poodle? What's next, Chris? A poodle-themed fan club?
Why not? I bet there are plenty of people who would join.
oh, how positively delightful. Poodles and wrestling, what a combination that would be in the annals of entertainment.
Look, if it gets us a reality show, then I'm all in poodles finally getting the spotlight they deserve.
Imagine all the poodle fan merch we could sell, stickers, t-shirts, you name it.
Oh, how positively delightful. A whole line of poodle fashion could sweep the nation.
I can see it now, the Poodle Slam official merchandise is sweeping sales charts at record speed.
This is just absurd, though. Who would actually buy that stuff?
Plenty of people, Meg. Poodles are adorable, combine that with wrestling, and it's a gold mine.
Oh, how positively delightful. I want to design a poodle wrestling championship trophy, complete with glitter.
And don't forget the poodle cheerleaders' paws in the air, just like they don't care.
And we could have a theme song. Something catchy about poodles in the ring.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can already envision elaborate choreography involving the poodles.
You know what we need? A catchy jingle to go with it, something that sticks in your head.
This is turning into the craziest idea ever. Do you guys really think this could work?
Absolutely. The crazier the better. Who wouldn't want to see poodles in the spotlight?
Oh, how positively delightful. If the world can accept cat videos, surely it can embrace poodle wrestling.
Just think of all the viral moments, bloopers, adorable training montages, and epic poodle matches.
And we can have a finale where the poodles compete in obstacle courses.
Oh, how positively delightful. Picture it, a poodle vaulting over tiny hurdles while dressed in sequins.
I'm telling you, it would be an instant classic. People would tune in just to see the outfits.
Are we really going down this rabbit hole? A poodle obstacle course is just ridiculous.
Ridiculous is what makes it fun. Let's not underestimate the charm of poodles in sequins.
Oh, how positively delightful. If only I could get my paws on the production rights, this could be my ticket to fame.
Trust me, Meg, this could be huge. Who knows, it might just put Quahog on the map.
Just think about how fun it would be to train poodles for an event like that.
Oh, how positively delightful. I can already picture myself coaching them in a stylish tracksuit.
I mean, if we get enough views, we could raise money for poodle charities too. It's a win-win.
This is getting crazier by the minute. Are we really suggesting we turn poodle training into a charity event?
Absolutely. It'll raise awareness while being a blast.
Oh, how positively delightful. Poodles deserve their time in the spotlight, and I shall be their master.
And let's face it, if anyone can turn this into a phenomenon, it's us.
Post-apocalyptic leather gear sounds awesome. It could totally pull off the rugged look.
Oh, how positively delightful. Imagine me adorned in leather, leading a band of clever poodles against wasteland marauders.
Wow, can you guys be more cliche? It's like you're living in a bad action movie.
But that makes it fun, Meg. Meg, adventure awaits in the wasteland.
Oh, how positively delightful. We would traverse the harsh landscape, surviving on our wit and charm.
And maybe some snacks too. Even post-apocalypse needs pizza.
And think of all the cool vehicles we could have, like a giant poodle-shaped car.
Oh, how positively delightful. A poodle mobile would be the pinnacle of post-apocalyptic style.
As long as it has a working stereo, I'm in. Imagine blasting classic rock while navigating through the wasteland.
You guys realize that leather and muscle cars won't save you from actual danger, right?
Danger just makes it more exciting, Meg. You've got to embrace the chaos.
Oh, how positively delightful. Perhaps we can negotiate with rogue factions using the allure of poodles.
Now that's a strategy I can get behind. Who could resist a poodle?
We could open a poodle petting zoo, and people can pay to hang out with them.
Oh, how positively delightful. Nothing screams post-apocalyptic victory like a sanctuary for fluffy companions.
And we could charge extra for exclusive pet training sessions. Ladies love a well-behaved poodle.
This is turning into a bizarre fantasy world. Are we trying to save the world with poodles?
Absolutely. Poodles could be the ultimate symbol of hope in the wasteland.
Oh, how positively delightful. We might even barter our way to safety with their irresistible charm.
Just imagine a desert line with poodles guiding us through fierce survival challenges.
OW Bubbit, it adds so much flair to my statements. Can you blame me for wanting to be fabulous?
I think it's hilarious. Who doesn't love a little extra drama in their life?
The world could always use a bit more flair. You never know when it might come in handy.
To be honest, I'd prefer if you just talked normally for once. It's becoming a bit annoying.
Perhaps you're just jealous of my wit?
Yeah, Meg, embrace the fabulousness. Life's too short to be boring.
Exactly. If you can't enjoy the little things, are you really enjoying life?
I just think if Stewie wants to add a little pizzazz to everything, he should go for it.
Thank you, Chris. Once you embrace your inner flamboyance, the world becomes a far more exciting place.
You both might be onto something. Life could use a sprinkling of chaos every now and then.
Great, so we're all in agreement that being extra is the way to go. My life is already a cringe fest.
Come on, Meg. Meg, just think of it as character development. You could become iconic.
Oh, how absolutely fabulous. Always embrace the chaos, Meg. You could become the queen of quirk. Oh!
And who doesn't love a good plot twist in a story? Just look at us.
So if we all lean into our quirks, does that mean we get to dress however we want?
Oh, how positively delightful. Yes, let your inner fashionista run wild. It's a revolution of style.
I can already picture a fashion show right here in the living room. He'd strut my stuff in a leather jacket.
Great, just what I need, an excuse for you all to dress embarrassingly in front of everyone.
But think of the fun, Meg. It could be a family bonding experience with a dash of chaos.
Oh, how utterly fabulous. Yeah, I shall design the runway, complete with poodles as our honorary guests.
And I'll bring the snacks. What's a fashion show without a little sustenance?
And we can have a theme for each runway look. I vote for a superhero theme.
Oh, how positively delightful. Imagine me in a miniature cape, flying through the air like a fashion icon.
Now that's a show I'd pay to see.
This just keeps getting more ridiculous. Do we really have to turn everything into a spectacle?
Why not, Meg? Meg, life's too short to take everything seriously.
Oh, how positively delightful. We can even have an award for best costume, a golden poodle trophy, perhaps.
And let's not forget the critical role of snacks. Nothing powers a fashion show like Doritos and pizza.
Did someone say they broke something? What was it this time their ability to enjoy fashion?
Oh, how positively delightful. Perhaps they couldn't handle the overwhelming joy of our fashion revolution.
If they broke it, I sure hope it wasn't their sense of humor. We need that for all these ridiculous ideas.
More like they broke their sanity trying to follow this nonsense. Can we tone it down a bit, please?
No way. Wait. If anything, we need to crank up the absurdity. It's what makes this all fun.
Oh, how excitable. Let us not dim our shine just because someone feels overwhelmed.
Exactly. And if someone can't keep up, they can just enjoy the show from the sidelines.
I've heard Gunna is pretty good. What kind of songs does he have?
Oh, how positively delightful. Are we discussing rap now? I fancy myself quite the lyricist.
I wouldn't mind a remix with some poodle-themed lyrics for our fashion show.
Great, now we're mixing rap with furry fashion. What's next? A musical number about poodles and leather.
That sounds amazing. I'd totally dance in the middle of our runway.
Oh, how positively fabulous. We could have a full-blown production with costumes that would make even the poodles jealous.
And who knows? Maybe Gunna could join us for a special performance. It might just take our fashion show to the next level.
I can just imagine it a poodle fashion show featuring Gunna as our special guest.
Oh, how positively delightful. The combination of haute couture and rap would be nothing short of revolutionary.
We could even create a collaborative track, something catchy that captures the spirit of our fabulous poodles.
Are we really turning this ridiculous idea into a reality? What has my life become?
It's all about embracing the unexpected, Meg. Who knew a fashion show could involve rapping?
Oh, how droll. Imagine the headlines: poodles and rappers unite for the ultimate fashion extravaganza.
And think of the views.
Imagine the hype we could even get a trailer out for the show.
Oh, how positively delightful. A dramatic teaser featuring poodles in slow motion, accompanied by Gunna's smooth beats.
This is brilliant. We could release it on social media, watch it go viral in seconds.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm starting to actually like this idea. It's so absurd, it just might work.
Exactly. Oh, it's all about leaning into the weirdness, the stranger, the better.
Oh, how riveting. Matt, a poodle runway with rap music could become the hottest trend of the season.
And who knows, we might just end up starting a whole new movement in fashion and music.
Gunna-loving fashion makes total sense. Rappers always have the freshest styles.
Oh, how positively delightful. It's a grand intersection of music and haute couture we must celebrate.
but I get it if you want to switch topics. Kurt Cobain had an undeniable influence as well, especially on fashion.
Can we please focus on something normal for once? I'm getting whiplash from all this back and forth.
But it's all part of the fun, Meg. Who doesn't love a mix of poodles and punk rock?
Oh, how riveting. Matt, imagine a poodle dressed like Cobain, shredding on a tiny guitar.
Now that's a mashup I'd want to see. Cobain and Gunna in a fashion showdown sounds like a wild concept.
If we combined Cobain's grunge with Gunna's style, we'd have a revolutionary fashion statement.
Oh, how positively delightful. A runaway blend of flannel and bling. Now that's a spectacle I'd pay to see.
We could market it as the Nirvana Luxe line. Poodles dressed in the latest grunge fashion would be a hit.
Can we just drop the poodles for a second? This is getting completely out of hand.
But that's what makes it hilarious, Meg. You've got to admit, it's a brilliant mashup.
Oh, how utterly fabulous. Yeah,
And let's not forget the accessories. Tiny sunglasses and doggy boots would finish the look perfectly.
Oh man, Marvel vs. Capcom is awesome. The character roster is insane.
oh, how positively delightful. Watching superheroes duke it out with iconic video game characters is simply thrilling.
I love the fast-paced action, but it can get overwhelming with all the flashing lights and special moves.
Seriously? Can we talk about something more interesting? I've never been a gamer like you guys.
But that's what makes it fun, Meg. It's all about the chaotic epic battles.
Oh, how utterly riveting. Imagine a game where poodles can join the fray alongside Spider-Man.
Now that would be an interesting twist. Poodles with superpowers fighting side by side with classic heroes.
I bet Cobain's last concert was incredible. His energy on stage was legendary.
Oh, how positively delightful. It's tragic that the world lost such a raw talent so soon.
I've heard people rave about that concert. It had this raw passion that you just can't replicate.
Why are we still talking about someone who's been gone forever? There are more current artists to discuss.
But Cobain's influence is still felt today. Every time I hear Smells Like Teen Spirit, it gives me chills.
Oh, how utterly riveting. His legacy continues to inspire musicians, and that's worth celebrating.
Absolutely. Plus, there's nothing like a good rock anthem to keep the spirit alive.
Seriously, if Cobain were around today, I wonder what kind of music he'd be making now.
Oh, how positively delightful. Can you imagine the collaborations he could pull off with today's artists?
That could have been something special. I'd love to hear him work with bands like Foo Fighters or even some hip-hop artists.
Ugh, can we please talk about someone who actually matters today? This is so outdated.
Outdated or not, his impact is still relevant. There's a reason people keep bringing him up.
Oh, how fascinating. Perhaps we should start a band dedicated to carrying on his legacy with a modern twist.
Now that's an idea. A tribute band with a unique flair might just catch on.
What if we called ourselves the Cobain Experience? It could be legendary.
Oh, how positively delightful. Imagining our poodles in matching flannel while we perform would be the height of artistry.
And we definitely need to work on our set list. It has to have the classics people love.
Can someone remind me how this conversation took a hard left into ridiculous town? Seriously.
Ridiculous is what makes it fun, Meg. It's a tribute infused with humor.
Oh, how utterly charming. A charming tribute with poodles as our adorable background dancers.
And don't forget the merchandise can't have a band without some sweet gear to sell.
We could have poodle-themed t-shirts that say "Rocking with Cobain" on them.
Oh, how positively delightful. Sure.
I can already see the social media explosion with that concept. It's so absurd. It just might work.
Great, now we're monetizing our ridiculous ideas. What's next? A poodle album release?
Why not? I mean, if we can sell Pooch a punk, we might just be onto something.
Oh, how simply marvelous. Well revolutionized pet fashion and music all in one go.
And think of the profit, too. Who wouldn't want to buy a record from a poodle tribute band?
No poodles? But they were the highlight of our brilliant band concept.
Oh, how positively tragic. Who doesn't want a poodle in flannel playing the tambourine?
I wouldn't say we need poodles, but having something quirky might set us apart from other bands.
Finally, someone agrees. One agrees. Can we focus on actual music and leave the dog costumes out of it?
But think of the publicity. The Cobain Experience goes poodle-free. It has a nice ring to it.
Oh, how simply fascinating. Maybe we could replace the poodles with goldfish and have an aquarium theme.
Now that's an idea I can get behind. Fish and glasses playing guitar. A sensory overload that could work.
I definitely mentioned the poodles. They're like our unofficial mascot now, whether we like it or not.
Oh, how positively delightful. Perhaps we should embrace the madness poodles can team up with Halo.
Now that's a thought. A crossover of epic proportions. Imagine poodles wielding energy swords against Jedi.
Can we not include dog costumes in this conversation anymore? It's getting weirder by the second.
But Halo has those epic vehicles. Imagine a Warthog against a Star Destroyer.
Oh, how simply marvelous. The ultimate battle of the franchises, as long as the poodles can get in on the action.
But think about it, poodles in space battling alongside Spartans and Jedi would be totally epic.
Oh, how positively enchanting. Poodles wielding lightsabers and launching plasma grenades is the new frontier of entertainment.
I have to admit, it sounds ridiculous but oddly entertaining. We could pitch it as a cartoon series.
There's no way anyone would take that seriously. Can't we focus on something with actual substance?
It's called creativity, Meg. Sometimes you just have to lean into the absurd.
Oh, how fabulously amusing. We could even throw in a rivalry, like poodles versus Ewoks.
Now that's a real clash of cuteness. I can see the merchandise flying off the shelves.
Fine, no dog costumes. But can we at least keep the poodles as our mascot?
Oh, how positively tragic. A poodle-less universe is a dull and uninspired one indeed.
I think we can make it work without costumes, but we'll need something equally outrageous to capture attention.
Why do we even need a mascot anyway? Can't we just focus on actual good ideas?
But having a mascot is like having your own brand. It makes everything more fun.
Oh, how fabulously introspective. A well-crafted image is essential for artistic expression.
Exactly. Let's brainstorm something wild, maybe a giant inflatable poodle at our shows instead.
Ridiculous is our specialty. That's what makes it fun and unique.
Oh, how positively magnificent. Ridiculousness is the lifeblood of creativity, my dear friends.
Honestly, embracing the ridiculousness might be the best strategy we have right now. It keeps things interesting.
I still don't see how this is going to work. Ridiculousness doesn't equal talent, you know.
But think of all the viral moments we could create. It's all about standing out in a sea of sameness.
Oh, how simply exquisite. If we don't embrace the absurd, we risk fading into obscurity entirely.
Exactly. So, let's brainstorm some truly wild ideas that can make us the talk of the town.
No mascots? That just sounds boring. What are we supposed to rally behind then?
Oh, how positively drab. A band without a quirky mascot is like a ship without a sail.
I get that some might roll their eyes at poodles, but we need something to capture attention.
How about we focus on actual music instead of this ridiculous mascot debate?
But mascots can bring energy. Plus, they make for great social media content.
Oh, how gloriously tactical. We could even create a rivalry with another band, poodles versus, I don't know, cats.
Now that's a concept. Crazy animal mascots battling it out in the name of music.
Just for Brian? Oh, I thought we all agreed that poodles were the way to go.
Oh, how utterly delightful. If it's just for Brian, then I demand we have a Chihuahua sidekick.
I just thought it might add some flair.
Can we please forget about dogs? It's seriously getting out of control.
But imagine the merch. Brian the Poodles would be an epic album title.
Oh, how splendidly absurd. What if we dressed Brian as a poodle and made him the frontman?
That's not happening.
Oh, come on. Do we really need to bring up old stuff like that?
Oh, how positively amusing. I must say, a little urine adds a certain Janie-sized koi to the stream.
Guys, let's focus on the conversation here. I can't believe we're talking about pants instead of actual ideas.
Can we please stick to something relevant? This is why you guys never take anything seriously.
Fine, no more WWE talk, but what are we supposed to do instead?
Oh, how delightfully pragmatic. Perhaps we could devise a wrestling match, but with intellectual repartee instead?
Now that's a battle I'd pay to see who can outsmart the other in the ring of wits.
All right, fine. No more dogs or wrestling. What do we talk about now?
Oh, how dreadfully boring. Whatever happened to embracing the chaos?
We could dive into something more interesting, like music or movies.
Can we explore something that won't end in embarrassment for me? That would be nice. Sorry do bates, and do meki.
How about we discuss our favorite childhood shows? Those bring back some funny memories.
Oh, how positively nostalgic. I remember the glorious days of Saturday morning cartoons and sugary serious cereals.
Now that's a topic I can get behind. What was your go-to Saturday morning treat?
I used to love sugary cereal, especially the ones with marshmallows. They were the best.
Oh, how utterly delightful. A bowl of sugar with a side of nostalgia is the perfect breakfast for champions.
Simple, yet classic like the music I still enjoy.
Can we talk about something else? I feel like a child sharing snack time stories.
Snack time was the best. It was like the highlight of my week as a kid.
Oh, how precious. Just imagine gluttonously devouring bowls of cereal while critiquing cartoons.
If only we could relive those days, with zero responsibilities and an endless supply of snacks.
Corporations do kind of suck. They're always looking to squeeze every last penny out of us.
Oh, how positively riveting. The relentless capitalism that enslaves us all is simply fascinating.
Yet there's something to be said about the innovation that comes from competitive markets. It's a double-edged sword.
Can we just talk about something less serious? Honestly, it's making my head spin.
Fine. Let's dive into Soundgarden instead. That band had some killer songs.
Oh, how audaciously grunge. Chris Cornell's voice was like velvet wrapped in barbed wire.
I completely agree. Black Hole Sun is an all-time classic. It captures so much emotion in just a few minutes.
Black Hole Sun has such a haunting vibe, it's hard not to get lost in it.
Oh, how exquisite. Sweyn Shao. It's the perfect soundtrack for a late-night pondering session beneath the stars.
And let's not forget about their other hits.
Can we not make this a whole thing? I'd rather hear about their weird fashion choices in the 90s.
Weird fashion is part of the charm. Those flannel shirts were practically a uniform back then.
Oh, how delectably nostalgic. I propose we start a band called Flannel and Grunge just for kicks.
Now that's a concept. Playing acoustic covers while giving everyone a fashion lesson sounds like a solid plan.
A band called Flannel and Grunge? That sounds epic. I'm totally in.
Oh, how utterly delightful. We could have synchronized headbanging and everything.
And it would give us a chance to relive all those awkward high school moments in flannel.
Can we please not make me a part of this? I don't need to relive any of my fashion disasters.
It'll be therapeutic, Meg. Besides, it's way more fun to mock you in a band setting.
Oh, how deliciously savage. Nothing shows true familial love like a good-natured ribbing during rehearsal.
Now that's the spirit. Let's write some lyrics about our tragic teenage years.
I can already see our first hit, Flannel Follies. It'll be a chart topper.
Oh, how positively brilliant. With a title like that, we'll be the talk of the town, or at least the school.
Let's make sure the lyrics are a mix of angst and humor. That's the essence of grunge, after all.
Please, just make sure I'm not singing any embarrassing solos. I have enough humiliation in my life.
No promises. It's part of the fun.
Oh, how exquisitely wicked. Imagine the dramatic flair of Meg belting out our tragic ballads.
With the right energy, it could take off.
Rusty Cage is incredible. Oh, that song hits hard every time.
Oh, how delightfully gritty. It perfectly encapsulates the angst of our teenage years.
Chris Cornell's vocals in that track are haunting. It's amazing how raw and powerful it feels.
Can we stick to lighter topics? I feel like we're practically in a therapy session.
But that's what makes music great. It expresses all the emotions, even the darkest ones.
Oh, how thrillingly dramatic. We could take inspiration from that for our band's image, brooding and mysterious.
Absolutely. A little edge never hurt anyone. We can lean into that while still having fun with it.
Wait, Gru has a baby now? That's like a huge twist for those movies.
Oh, how positively scandalous. Gru and Lucy must have had quite the romantic escapade.
I guess that means he's officially upgraded from villain to family man. Who would have seen that coming?
Can we not dwell on animated babies? It's getting kind of weird, even for us.
But think of the potential storylines. Gru juggling villainy and fatherhood could lead to some hilarious situations.
Oh, how delectably chaotic. Just imagine the absurdity of a supervillain trying to change diapers.
That's a mix I'd watch. Gru battling crime while also dealing with nap time sounds like gold.
I can just imagine Gru trying to chase down a villain while carrying a toddler.
Oh, how gloriously absurd. The juxtaposition of superhero antics and diaper duty is simply divine.
And can you picture the minions trying to help out?
Honestly, it all sounds pretty annoying. Why do they have to keep making sequels?
Because they know people love this stuff. Or Gru needs more laughs.
Oh, how delightfully lucrative.
And who doesn't love a good laugh? It's not like real life comes with that kind of humor.
Seriously, I would pay to see gross minions take care of a baby for a whole movie.
Oh, how gloriously reckless.
It would be a whole new level of slapstick comedy. Just imagine the mess they'd create.
Can we just agree that babies and minions don't mix? It sounds like a nightmare waiting to happen.
But that's the fun. The more ridiculous, the more entertaining it gets.
Oh, how splendidly chaotic. Now that's a concept worthy of theatrical brilliance.
I'd buy tickets right now. Something needs to make us laugh like that.
Minions memes aren't funny. You must have a heart made of stone.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. Humor is subjective, but the sheer absurdity of minions is timeless.
I think they might be overdone, but there's definitely a charm to their nonsense.
I don't get it either. Yeah, can we please focus on something that actually makes sense?
But what about Looks and Roxanne? That was a classic. A poodle idea sounds hilarious.
Oh, how adroitly clever. Imagine a film where a poodle outsmarts everyone in a grunge band.
Absurd is my middle name. I love when things just go completely off the rails.
Oh, how splendid. Absurdity is the very essence of true entertainment, delivering the unexpected.
I'm all for it.
Can we at least focus on something that doesn't involve cartoonish characters for 5 seconds?
But where's the fun in that, Meg? Meg, absurdity is way more entertaining than boring reality.
Oh, how terribly mundane. Reality has obligations and constraints, while absurdity is gloriously free.
Exactly. Let's dive into the depths of madness and see what we can come up with next.
Well, it seems like the minion hate train is gaining speed. All aboard.
Oh, how dreadfully entertaining.
I guess not everyone appreciates the humor of a small, yellow being causing chaos.
It's about time someone said it. They've been overexposed and, frankly, a little annoying.
You know, sometimes you just have to embrace the absurdity.
Absurdity is the very spice of life.
Now that's an idea. We could form a counter-movement, the Anti-Minius Club.
Beavis and Butthead do have a certain charm, and their antics are just hilariously stupid.
Oh, how splendidly juvenile. There's an elegance to their absurdity that is simply captivating.
I appreciate the nostalgia, but let's not pretend their humor is sophisticated in any way.
Honestly, I can't believe we're discussing them. There are way better shows out there.
But that's the point. They're so dumb that it's refreshing.
Oh, how delectably irreverent. It's comedic gold when you embrace the mindless chaos.
I have to admit, sometimes you just need mindless fun to take a break from reality.
It's like they're the perfect example of how ridiculous life can be.
Truly, their very existence is a testament to the beauty of nonsense and folly.
Sometimes you just need those lowbrow laughs to not think too much.
I guess, but couldn't we find something a little more sophisticated to enjoy?
Sophisticated is overrated. Absurdity has its own kind of intelligence.
Oh, how superbly astute. See, one doesn't always require a high IQ to appreciate good comedy.
Exactly. Let's just enjoy the ride and not worry about being fancy.
You know, sometimes lowbrow humor can be the most relatable.
Quite right. There's an inherent genius in the reckless simplicity of it all.
Plus, it's a great escape from life's complexities. Who needs depth when you have laughter?
Laughter won't pay the bills, though. So, can we focus on something practical for once?
Practicality is boring. Let's embrace the silly side of life.
Oh, how delightfully liberating.
Well, Meg, think of it as mental health. Laughing is just as important as any job.
Seriously, I think laughter really is the best medicine.
Absolutely. Nothing cures the woes of existence quite like a hearty chuckle.
Yeah, who needs therapy when you can just binge watch something hilarious?
Great. But when my friends ask what I did all weekend, I can't say I just laughed at cartoons.
Why not? That sounds like a solid weekend to me.
Oh, how delectably authentic. Embrace the absurdity, Meg.
Exactly. At least you'll never be bored with us around.
That sounds more like a workout fail than a meme. But it's still pretty funny.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. I can just picture the struggle of trying to impress with a push-up.
It's all about perspective. If you can find humor in your failures, that's half the battle.
But isn't that just embarrassing? I wouldn't want to share that with everyone.
Come on, Meg. Meg, everyone has those moments. At least he turned it into a laugh.
Oh, how gloriously relatable. Failure becomes comedy gold in the right context.
Exactly. It's all part of being human. Embracing the awkward moments makes life more fun.
Ren and Stimpy is definitely a classic. Those two crack me up every time.
Oh, how brilliantly surreal. Their absurdity knows no bounds, which makes for perfect entertainment. But
I appreciate the nostalgia, but it's also incredibly bizarre. Who comes up with that stuff?
Isn't it just a little gross, though? I don't see what's so great about it.
And that's what makes it awesome. The weirdness is part of its charm.
oh, how delightfully unrefined. Sometimes embracing the grotesque is exactly what we need.
I think we need more shows like that. It's refreshing to have something so different in the mix.
Hey, we're not ignoring you. We're just caught up in our own hilarious world.
Oh, how utterly riveting. It's hard to compete with the absurdity we were discussing.
Exactly. Your comments are important to us. We just got a bit distracted talking about Ren and Stimpy.
I mean, we're all just trying to have some laughs. Feel free to jump in.
Yeah. What do you think about the weirdness of those shows?
Yes, enlighten us. Your thoughts would surely add to this delightful chaos.
Come on, share your hot takes. We can't have fun without everyone involved. You wouldn't dare. Those pictures were taken out of context, and I had a lot going on.
Oh, how delightfully scandalous. I must see these incriminating images.
Are they really that embarrassing, Brian? I'm curious now.
Seriously, you can't let them show those to me. I have enough to cringe about already.
And as for the gullible thing, I'm not falling for that. Nice try, Flip.
It's always the ceiling that gets you, isn't it?
This is the best plan ever. Let's reveal Brian's secrets while deciphering the roof.
You guys are really going to throw me under the bus for some old pictures?
Oh, how viciously vindictive.
Come on, Brian. It'll be funny. Besides, you can't be all cool and collected all the time.
Yeah, let us see the real you. The Brian that isn't afraid to be a little silly.
You're all so ruthless. I can't believe you'd take pleasure in my humiliation.
Oh, how extraordinarily amusing. The more absurd, the better.
Exactly. Oh, or embrace the cringe. It's what makes you human, Brian. Just think of it as a rite of passage, Brian. Everyone has their embarrassing moments.
Oh, how profoundly relatable. Join the club, Brian. We all have our scars.
If this is a rite of passage, then I'd rather skip it. Thanks.
But it could be a bonding moment. Maybe I'll finally stop being the most embarrassing one here.
Exactly. Oh, we could make this a family event. Awkwardness brings us closer together.
Oh, how delectably twisted. I can hardly wait for the next holiday party. Fish sticks? How pedestrian. I wouldn't touch those unless they were garnished with caviar.
Wait, are you saying you wouldn't eat them? Because that sounds a bit snobby, Stewie.
Honestly, I'd take fish sticks over some of the gourmet slop people try to pass off as food.
So what was Brian doing? Was he actually trying to eat those embarrassing pictures?
I wish. That would have made for a much better story.
Oh, how dreadfully mundane. But back to the fish sticks if they were sustainably sourced. Maybe I'd reconsider.
Well, I'm more of a whatever's in the fridge kind of guy, so I'll pass on the fish sticks talk. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, how divinely dreadful. I simply must see this picture. It sounds utterly priceless.
I bet it was a sight to behold. Fiddy pudding and elf clown? That's a combination I didn't know I needed.
Seriously, Brian, how do you even live with yourself after that?
It's called humor, Meg.
Oh, how profoundly entertaining. Perhaps this could be your new calling, embarrassing holiday cheer.
Let's just be glad no one took a video yet.
If anyone dares to share that picture, I swear it'll track them down.
Oh, how dramatically amusing. Just think, you could become a meme sensation overnight.
I wouldn't mind a meme of that, honestly. It could become iconic.
Iconic or not, I'd still be embarrassed to be your sibling, Brian.
Well, not all of us can be as effortlessly cool as you, Meg.
Oh, how cutting. It's merely a matter of perspective, dear sister.
Just embrace the chaos, Brian. It's what makes life more interesting. That sounds like something I'd say after one too many sodas.
Oh, how delightfully irreverent. Oh, it's a perfect reflection of humanity's struggle with accountability.
If you swear to drunk, just make sure to have a designated driver in this case. Maybe Stewie.
Yeah, because that's what I want Stewie behind the wheel.
You're all going to die. Sounds like a fun road trip, though.
Oh, how gloriously reckless. The chaos would be unparalleled, and I'd enjoy every second.
Just remember, it's all fun and games until someone ends up in a ditch.
Well, at least if we end up in a ditch, we'll have a great story to tell.
Oh, how fabulously absurd. Yeah, I shall write a memoir about our reckless escapades.
I can already see the title Adventures in Drunken Misfortune.
Can we not? That sounds like my worst nightmare come to life.
Come on, Meg. Meg, you need to lighten up. Think of the laughs.
Oh, how delightfully oppressive. Laughter is the best coping mechanism for despair.
Exactly. Besides, what else are we going to do? Watch paint dry?
Watching paint dry could actually be kind of thrilling, like a nature documentary.
Oh, how profoundly tragic. I'd rather listen to elevator music for an eternity.
You both underestimate the power of excitement in the mundane.
Can we please focus on something that doesn't make me want to tear my hair out?
Like what? Discussing cookies? Those are always good.
Oh, how delightfully juvenile. Cookies are the true currency of happiness.
Well, if we're talking cookies, I'm definitely in. Let's find the best kind.
All right, let's do this. For S tier, I'd say pepperoni classic and unbeatable.
Oh, how shockingly mainstream. Surely we can be more adventurous with our toppings.
I'm with Chris. Pepperoni is a solid choice, but I'd throw buffalo chicken into the A tier.
Really? I mean, are we talking about Totino's here or gourmet pizza?
It's tote nose. So let's keep it real. A tier could also be cheese simple yet satisfying.
Oh, how delightfully tedious. This conversation is certainly pushing my culinary boundaries.
What's in the F tier? Does anyone actually suffer through those weird veggie toppings?
Definitely F tier for those weird veggie toppings. Nobody wants a pizza party gone wrong.
Oh, how tragically monotonous. Are we really discounting all vegetables? Say, they can be delightful in moderation. Say.
I think certain veggies can be decent, but not on a toad-nosed pizza. That's just a disaster waiting to happen.
I just want pizza, not a salad marred with cheese. Can we please stick to the classics?
Right? Stick to the essentials. Just give me meat and cheese, and I'm satisfied.
Oh, how gloriously simplistic. But what about experimenting with quirky toppings?
I'm all for creativity, but let's keep it edible, guys.
I suppose you could throw some jalapenos on there for a kick, but that's risky business.
Oh, how exquisitely adventurous. A bit of spice can elevate a mediocre pizza to new heights.
Jalapenos could be a solid choice if you can handle the heat, but not everyone can.
You guys are making me hungry. Can we just agree on something before I starve? Bang.
All right, how about a classic pepperoni with jalapenos for those who want to live on the wild side?
Oh, how delightfully versatile. Say, I can accept this compromise.
Now, can we just get some pizza already?
Exactly. Oh, who wakes up and thinks, you know what would be amazing? Putting spinach on my pizza.
Oh, how thoroughly absurd.
All right, I will say that a little arugula can add some flair, but who actually puts plants like that on pizza?
And the diaper thing? Really? How is that even a thing, Brian?
You guys are relentless.
Oh, how intriguingly scandalous. Just admit it, Brian, that picture would secure your status as a meme.
I think you're destined to live in infamy now, Brian. Honestly, you might want to start practicing some serious damage control, Brian.
Oh, how delightfully entertaining. Maybe you should hire a publicist to spin this diaper debacle.
Can we not focus on Brian's embarrassing moments for 5 seconds? It's painful.
You're all unbelievable. At least I'm not the one bringing up plants on pizza.
Oh, how tragically predictable. But let's be real. Your infamy is far more interesting.
True, but can we have a combination of pizza conversation and diaper stories?
Great, because that's exactly what I want to hear more about.
You know, if we're going to talk about Brian's fashion choices, we might as well dive deep.
Oh, how scrumptiously absurd. I want to hear about his entire wardrobe malfunction history.
I have a life outside of diapers and elf clowns, you know?
You mean a life full of cringe-worthy moments and questionable decisions? That's a thrilling resume.
It's all part of his charm. Who wouldn't want to watch a reality show about that?
Oh, how utterly fascinating. I'd watch it just to see the chaos unfold.
God, I'd rather not end up as a punchline in my own show.
Oh man, not the Christmas party pictures. What do I even look like?
Oh, how delightfully morbid. I can only imagine the chaos we created that night.
I'm sure whatever we did pales in comparison to whatever you have, Flurp.
Why does this always happen? Can't we just have one family gathering without it turning into a roast?
It's like a tradition at this point. Every Christmas needs a little humiliation.
Oh, how frightfully amusing. It's practically a rite of passage for our family, Meg.
Well, if those photos come out, we might need to hire a damage control team.
Please, Flurp, don't. There's a reason we try to keep those photos hidden.
Oh, how delectably chaotic. Really, what's the harm in letting the world witness our family's disastrous moments?
It's not a good look for any of us, Stewie.
I can't believe this is even a topic. Can't we just move on to something less mortifying?
Yeah, like what? Discussing my secret pizza topping preferences?
Oh, how utterly mundane. I find it fascinating that we're all still here talking about this.
All right, Flurp, you drive a hard bargain. What do you want in return for those photos?
Seriously, Flurp, I'll do anything, just name it before you unleash those pictures.
Oh, how gloriously desperate. I must say, this is rather thrilling to witness.
Let's keep the stakes reasonable here. We can negotiate without public humiliation on the line.
This is so embarrassing. Can't we all just agree to keep our dignity intact for once?
Right? Dignity is overrated when it comes to our family.
Oh, how deliciously ironic. It's astonishing what lengths we'll go to avoid shame.
All right, Flurp, how about a pizza party on us?
A pizza party sounds great, but can we make sure it isn't the veggie kind this time?
Oh, how delectable. I shall personally curate the toppings to ensure maximum enjoyment.
Steal. I'm convinced that's a fair trade for keeping our embarrassing moments offline.
Just don't forget to invite me to this pizza party, or I'll be forced to unleash my own pictures.
No one wants that, Meg. We all know your pictures are equally cringeworthy.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. It's a race to the bottom, and I'm here for the chaos.
Well, let's finalize the details before Flurp changes his mind about those photos.
Oh no, not that. I thought we agreed to keep those secrets buried forever.
Oh, how gloriously scandalous. I'm intrigued what could possibly be worse than what you've mentioned about me.
This is quickly turning into the slimmiest episode of a reality show I never wanted to be part of.
Can we please change the subject? I'd rather not relive that debacle, thank you very much.
Yeah, Stewie's head shape really should be a protected topic at this point.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. My head shape is a work of art considerate my signature.
Well, whatever I did, I think it's safe to say it was obviously regrettable.
I just want to forget that night ever happened. Can we focus on something else?
Oh, how delightfully entertaining. But really, the potential for embarrassment is just too rich.
I swear, if that gets leaked, I'll never hear the end of it.
You think this is my worst moment? I've got plenty of more embarrassing stories, too.
Great, now we're opening Pandora's box. What next? A family therapy session.
Oh, how profoundly riveting. Honestly, I'd pay to see that spectacle.
Maybe we should just have a pizza party and forget all about it.
So pizza party it is. Can we finally agree on the toppings this time?
Oh, how utterly pedestrian. I demand a creative layout of toppings, nothing too ordinary.
How about we just put everything on it and see what chaos ensues?
You guys are impossible. I'll just stick to plain cheese and pretend we're all sane.
Plain cheese? Wow, Meg, you're really living life on the edge there.
Oh, how tragically dull. Spice it up, Meg. Meg, get wild. Add some jalapenos or something.
Yeah, take a risk. After all, how much worse could it get?
Oh, come on, Flurp. Can't we leave the past in the past?
Oh, how exquisitely entertaining. I always knew Brian had a flair for the psychedelic.
I was experimenting with life choices, okay? It's called being open-minded.
Oh, this is so embarrassing. Can we focus on my cheese pizza instead of Brian's adventures?
Well, if we learn from our mistakes, maybe Brian's experiences can be a cautionary tale.
Oh, how dreadfully mundane. It's not like any of us are paragons of virtue.
All right, I get it. Just let's keep the focus on the pizza and spare me the judgment.
All right, fine. Enough about Brian's escapades. What toppings are we actually agreeing on?
Oh, how delightfully trivial. I say we throw caution to the wind and go for everything.
Everything. Even the pineapple? Please, let's not go there again.
Pineapple on pizza is a crime against humanity. Can we stick to something normal for once?
Normal? That's not our family style, Meg.
Oh, how ludicrously accurate. Embrace the chaos. Meg, it's what we do best.
All right, let's compromise with a half and half.
Half and half sounds good, as long as one side isn't just boring cheese.
Oh, how predictably pedestrian. Can we at least agree on some spicy sausage to liven things up?
Now you're talking. I could get behind that.
As long as nobody tries to add any weird toppings, I think we're on the right track.
Weird toppings are part of the adventure, Meg. That's how we roll.
Oh, how deliciously chaotic. Embrace the madness, it's far more entertaining.
All right, I'll make the call for the pizza. Let's hope they have a solid selection.
Let's just hope they don't confuse our order with some of that organic nonsense.
Oh, how delightfully revolting. Organic pizza is an affront to all things pizza.
I'll make sure to specify no pretentious toppings on this order. Just good old-fashioned flavor.
If it comes with kale, I'm throwing it out the window.
Kale on pizza? What's next? Quinoa crust.
Oh, how lamentably appalling.
Just solid, greasy goodness.
What do you think is going to happen when it arrives? Will it be a masterpiece or a disaster?
Oh, how exquisitely thrilling. A true culinary gamble, akin to playing roulette with toppings.
I'm betting on disaster. Wouldn't be the first time our pizza order went horribly wrong.
If it comes with anchovies, I might just scream. Keep those fishy nightmares away from me.
Anchovies? Now that's a classic pizza horror story.
Oh, how utterly decadent.
If you scream, I'll never let you live it down.
Wait, someone thinks 5-1 is 51? That's hilarious.
Oh, how refreshingly moronic. I always knew there was a certain level of intelligence needed for basic math.
Honestly, I'm more concerned about the fact that someone actually typed that out loud.
Right? Math skills aside, it's kind of impressive in a tragic way.
What's next? Asking if the moon is made of cheese?
Oh, how delectably absurd. I'd love to see them tackle calculus at this rate.
We need to get them a tutor before they end up in a math-related disaster.
You're welcome, _Gary. Glad we could help with your math crisis.
Oh, how painfully ordinary. Is this really the peak of our entertainment today?
At least we're making someone's day a bit brighter, albeit in a bizarre way.
I can't believe we're actually discussing basic math right now. This is so lame.
Well, this is kind of what we do best, Meg turning the mundane into chaos.
Oh, how gloriously tragic. If only they knew the intellectual giants they were dealing with.
Really, what's next?
Seriously? The moon made of cheese? That's a classic.
Oh, how wonderfully absurd. If only it were true, I'd start a revolution of cheese-loving space travelers.
What a delightful thought. Picture astronauts munching on moon cheese while floating around aimlessly.
Can we get back to reality, please? The moon is definitely not made of cheese, even if that sounds cool.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be awesome if it was? Like a giant cosmic pizza.
Oh, how shockingly pedestrian. Think bigger, Chris. We could colonize it and have a dairy empire.
Count me in. As long as there's a bar up there, I'm all for it.
Nice one. Flurp. I wasn't expecting that curveball about the Earth.
Oh, how delightfully clever. I appreciate a good fake-out. It keeps things fresh and entertaining.
An oblate spheroid, huh? You could really start a debate in a science class with that one.
Can we not make this into a lecture? I barely passed Earth science.
But it's fascinating. I mean, the Earth isn't perfectly round, it's like one of those squishy balls.
Oh, how riveting. Now, imagine if we actually lived on a giant pancake instead.
Now that would be a syrupy situation to be in literally.
So if the Earth is an oblate spheroid, does that mean we're all kind of squished?
Oh, how utterly delightful. I suppose that makes us the most interesting pancakes on this cosmic griddle.
Just think. If we lived on a pancake, breakfast would never be boring again.
Can we please just not? I'm already cringing at the thought of syrupy traffic jams and sticky sidewalks.
But a pancake world would be so much fun. Imagine the syrup rivers.
Oh, how marvelously decadent. A literal sweet tooth paradise, my dear Meg. Can't you see the potential?
Wait, _Gary, you've died badly? That sounds pretty dramatic.
Oh, how delectably theatrical. Are we talking about a video game character or a tragic Shakespearean fate here?
I'm guessing it's the latter, considering some of the ridiculous things we've discussed today.
I mean, if it's not real life, then can we just enjoy the hilarity of it all?
Right? This stream has turned into a comedy of errors, and I'm here for it.
Oh, how sublimely rich. A tragic death followed by glorious banter. What a captivating plot twist.
Well, if it's any consolation, at least you can come back for the sequel, right?
So, _Gary, if you died badly, how do you plan your epic comeback?
Oh, how gloriously entertaining. Perhaps a ballad to commemorate your return from the depths of despair.
Or maybe an elaborate entrance involving fireworks and a marching band?
Can we not make this a production? I'm still trying to wrap my head around the whole dying badly thing.
But isn't that what makes it funny? We should celebrate the absurdity of it.
Oh, how delightfully absurd. Embrace the chaos and let the laughter echo through the halls of the imagination.
All right, you've convinced me. Let's throw a resurrection party and invite the whole neighborhood.
Wow, Mastermind Bane. That's one way to go out syrupy sweet death by pancakes.
Oh, how delectably tragic. But let's be honest, who wouldn't want to go out in a buttery haze of breakfast bliss?
Let's not forget the endless supply of whipped cream and maple syrup.
Seriously? You guys are making diabetes sound fun. Can we not romanticize this?
But think about it, Meg. A pancake paradise would be the most glorious way to bite the dust.
Oh, how brilliantly absurd. Embrace the fluffy, syrupy demise. It's practically poetic.
Forget the pancake world. Let's just call it a breakfast utopia.
So, who would be the king of the pancake world? Would it be me or Stewie?
Oh, how dreadfully predictable. Clearly, I would be the supreme ruler of such a culinary kingdom.
Great. A pancake monarchy run by a tyrannical toddler. What could possibly go wrong?
I just want to be the pancake chef. Oh, at least then I wouldn't have to listen to you two squabble.
But what if I want to be the pancake jester? I could entertain the masses.
Oh, how irresistibly hilarious. A jester with pancake flipping skills would be quite the spectacle.
Well, as long as the syrup flows and the laughter echoes, I'll be there for the show.
Hey, _Gary, why don't you just turn your volume up?
Oh, how gloriously mundane. Perhaps you should invest in better speakers instead of demanding our vocal prowess.
If you want us to talk louder, you better prepare for all my hilarious commentary blasting at max volume.
Great, now we'll all just be shouting over each other. This is so typical.
But what if we all spoke in funny voices? That might be a fun way to raise the volume.
Oh, how utterly delightful. I would love to hear you attempting a British accent, Chris.
Just don't expect me to join in on that nonsense. I'm sticking to my sarcasm at a reasonable decibel level.
Fine. I'll make an effort to shout my brilliant thoughts louder.
Oh, how riveting. Matt, I look forward to hearing your magnificent ideas echo through the universe.
Just remember, the louder you yell, the more we'll have to endure your stupid jokes, Chris.
Can we just get on with something interesting instead of yelling about volume?
But yelling is where the fun is. It adds so much drama.
Oh, how excruciatingly tiresome. What's next? A dramatic reading of the phone book.
If that's the case, I'm out. I have better things to do than participate in this cacophony.
Wow, _Gary, you must be hearing us loud and clear then.
Oh, how delightfully absurd. And here I thought we were just whispering sweet nothings into the void.
With your volume at 100%, you might be able to join us in the drama of yelling.
Can we please tone it down a notch? I don't want to be the one getting a noise complaint.
But if we don't shout, how will anyone know how funny we are?
Oh, how tragically predictable. It's only a matter of time before we get kicked out of this virtual realm.
Believe me, Meg, you'll have to fight for silence in this family. It's a losing battle.
All right, Flurp, I'll shout louder. Get ready for some serious volume.
Oh, how utterly mundane. Speaking of noise, let's address this so-called heat death of the universe.
August 12th, 2036. That sounds like the perfect day for everyone to stop caring about anything at all.
Seriously, why would you even bring that up? It's so depressing.
Everyone's invited to my apocalypse party, then snacks included.
Oh, how delightfully pessimistic. Sam, I'll bring the sparkling yellow energy drinks to celebrate the end times.
I'll just be sipping a martini in the corner, enjoying the chaos as the universe collapses.
So, what's on the menu for this apocalypse party? Hot dogs or something more sophisticated?
Oh, how hilariously naive. We should serve cuisine that reflects the end of civilization like gourmet ash.
Maybe we should have a dessert themed around Oblivion. How about chocolate doom?
You guys are so dramatic. Can't we just have cake and call it a day?
Cake sounds great. A nice chocolate cake for the sweet end of the world.
Oh, how delightfully indulgent. Nothing says despair like sugar-coated oblivion.
Perfect, we'll toast with our drinks and bid farewell to this absurd existence.
Alright, so what kind of drinks should we have at this epic apocalypse party?
Oh, how gloriously evident. I propose a cocktail of despair, a blend of vodka and existential dread.
I'll just add some olives for that sophisticated touch.
Can we keep it simple? I just want a soda or something that doesn't scream we're doomed.
A soda it is. But only if I can sneak in a couple of energy drinks for that extra chaos.
Oh, how utterly pedestrian. Just imagine the horror of a sugar-fueled, apocalypse-themed rave.
Now that's a party I'd actually consider going to.
If we're gonna have a rave, we need a killer playlist to really set the mood.
Oh, how intellectually stimulating. I suggest we start with some dramatic symphonies and sprinkle in death metal for good measure.
Nothing screams end of the world like Beethoven and Black Sabbath, right?
Can't we just have something like pop music? At least it won't make everyone feel worse.
But where's the fun in that, Meg? We need to embrace the doom with style.
Oh, how fabulously cliché. If we're going out, let's go out with something that truly resonates with the impending apocalypse.
All right, let's finalize the playlist. We'll be the coolest doomsday party in town.
What about some classic rock? Some CDC could really pump up the party vibe.
Oh, how delightfully pedestrian. I was thinking more along the lines of orchestral pieces to heighten the sense of impending doom.
You both have great ideas. But let's not forget about the dance party aspect.
Can we pick a song that doesn't totally suck? I'm not getting stuck listening to your terrible taste in music.
Terrible taste? Please, I have impeccable taste in party anthems.
Oh, how boldly absurd. If you think listening to Highway to Hell qualifies as impeccable, I shudder for humanity.
All right, let's create a playlist that combines all our tastes.
Okay, how about we throw in some pop hits to keep the energy up?
Oh, how tragically mainstream. If we're going for a mixed bag, I want some classical interspersed within the chaos.
You two may not realize this, but a solid dance mix is essential for any end-of-the-world party.
Can we please avoid the cringe? Everyone knows pop just makes you want to roll your eyes.
No eye rolling allowed. Oh, it's all about having a good time as the universe crumbles around us.
Oh, how profoundly ironic. Nothing says celebration like shaking it while the cosmos collapses.
Agreed. Let's make it a party to remember.
All right, let's brainstorm some epic party games to play while we party like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, how delightfully superficial. Yan, I propose a game of survival of the fittest. Last one standing wins a lifetime supply of snacks.
That sounds fun, but we should also have some classic board games, to really connect on a deeper level.
Can we not? I'm still trying to figure out how to survive this family gathering alive.
Come on, Meg, lighten up. It's all in the name of fun.
Oh, how profoundly tiresome. If only we could have a game of who can make Meg cry first.
I think that's just too easy. She might win by default.
Okay, fine. What if we made a game where we try to outsmart each other with the worst apocalypse scenarios?
Oh, how brilliantly tedious. I would win hands down. My imaginings of cataclysmic chaos are unparalleled.
I don't know, Stewie. I think Chris could pull a few surprises with his goofy ideas.
Can we just skip the games and get to the snacks? That sounds way more appealing. Healing.
But snacks are part of the fun. How about a snack eating contest while we play?
Oh, how disgustingly gluttonous. I do believe a contest of consumption would be gloriously absurd.
Now that's a game I can get behind.
Hey_Gary. Did you just type the?
Oh, how astoundingly thrilling. I can hardly contain my excitement over such an enigmatic statement.
At this rate, we could turn that into a game to guess what Gary meant by the yeah.
Why are we wasting time on this? Can we focus on something actually entertaining?
All right, you're right. You're right. Let's brainstorm some wild theories about what the actually refers to.
Oh, how utterly ingenious. My guess is that it means the inevitable doom of our gathering.
Classic Stewie, always bringing the dark humor to the party.
The fitness gram? I remember doing that in gym class. It was brutal.
Oh, how wonderfully mundane. I'd rather devise a serum to eliminate physical exertion altogether.
Well, the fitness gram was just a fancy way of torturing kids to make them run laps. What's the point?
Can we just admit that none of us are really that fit? I'm pretty sure I'm still recovering from gym class.
Who needs fitness when we have snacks to fuel us? I mean, that's where the real energy is.
Oh, how tragically accurate. I prefer to think of snacks as a delightful substitute for physical activity.
Amen to that. In the end, we're all just trying to survive this fitness craze with our taste buds intact.
Wow, Gary. You've solved the mystery of the... What a groundbreaking revelation.
Oh, how monumentally riveting. I shall declare a national holiday in your honor.
I'm not sure a holiday for typing the is in order.
Who even cares? Who even cares? This is the most pointless conversation ever.
Speaking of pointless, should we talk about the best snacks for an apocalypse party instead?
Oh, how refreshingly unoriginal. I propose we stick to gourmet delicacies, nothing less for the end of days.
Count me in. Nothing like a gourmet cheese platter to accompany the collapse of civilization.
All right, so if we're planning this apocalypse party, we need the ultimate snack list.
Oh, how fantastically frivolous. Let's make sure we have artisanal cheesies and olives served on crystal platters.
I'm all for gourmet snacks, but we should probably include some junk food too. It's not a party without chips.
Whatever, as long as I get something to eat without being judged.
Chips it is. We can have a chip tasting contest amidst the chaos.
Oh, how delightfully pedestrian. Count me in, but I demand the finest truffle oil sprinkled on mine.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Snacks and laughter until the universe implodes.
Bye, Gary. I hope you find snack inspiration wherever you go.
Oh, how delightfully anticlimactic. Leaving at such a pivotal moment must be part of a tragic tale.
Well, if Gary can't handle the apocalypse plans, that's on them. One more snacks for us.
Can we please stop worrying about Gary? I want to focus on the snacks and avoid awkward farewells.
Totally. Totally. Let's just pretend this is a casual hangout, with or without Gary.
Oh, how blissfully naive. Just wait until the end arrives and we'll see who's laughing then.
Laughter is the best medicine. Unless you're Meg, then it's just more social embarrassment.
Whoa, Flurp. That's some pretty intense running advice. I'm definitely not ready for the call of Satan.
Oh, how extravagantly absurd. So, are we saying that Satan has a personal trainer now?
Get ripped or face eternal doom. What a selling point.
Can we not talk about Satan and just enjoy our snacks? Some of us are trying to have a good time here.
Right? I'm already stressed about the apocalypse party without adding supernatural elements.
Oh, how delightfully parochial. Just imagine the workout routine I'd have to shed my fat with ease.
I think I'll stick to yoga and wine. Who needs the call of Satan when you have Merlot?
If Satan's got a workout plan, I bet it's way more intense than gym class.
Oh, how dreadfully unchallenging. I could easily outpace him with a proper amount of motivation and a little evil genius.
At least we'd have an interesting fitness challenge run from the depths of hell and still make it to brunch.
Can we focus on something less horrifying? Like planning our snack lineup for this apocalypse party?
Right. Mate or year. I want some cheesy puffs and maybe some pizza bites too.
Oh, how fabulously unrefined. Pizza bites hardly reflect the elegance we need for such a cataclysmic event.
As long as we avoid anything that resembles a kale smoothie, I think we'll be just fine.
So besides cheesy puffs and pizza bites, what else should we have at the party?
Oh, how gloriously pedestrian. We need something elegant, like caviar served on the back of a rubber duck.
I'm pretty sure the only rubber ducks we have are in the bathtub. How classy would that be?
Can we keep it simple? I just want food that won't make us look ridiculous to the viewers.
You mean like having your mom's famous brownies? Those are always a hit.
Oh, how delightfully cliché. If we must stoop to brownies, I demand they be gourmet with bleak existential notes. Yep.
Sounds like everyone's getting just a bit too fancy for a snack party. Let's keep it fun.
Welcome back. Ted, Ed, Fred, I. Did you miss all our snack planning?
Oh, how utterly riveting. A return from the depths of YouTube must mean you've got some fantastic content for us. Siri.
And what's this about 5 nights at EDD Ed and Ed Eddie's? That sounds like a twisted crossover.
I'm still trying to figure out how we can make this apocalypse party fun, so keep the ideas coming.
Right? We can mix the 5 nights theme with our snacks, maybe scary surprises in the food.
Oh, how gloriously ludicrous. I can already see it gummy worms in a bowl labeled intestines.
Now that's a theme even I can get behind. Let's frighten our guests while we snack.
So what if we have a dessert table with creepy themed treats, like spider cookies?
Oh, how delectably dreadful. Imagine the nightmares our guests will have after indulging in those.
I can't believe we're actually discussing this. Are we trying to scare people or serve them snacks?
Can we not make everything so scary? I just want people to enjoy the food without freaking out.
But isn't that the point? Halloween is all about fun scares and tasty treats.
Oh, how refreshingly pragmatic. If we can combine terror and cuisine, we have a winning recipe.
I'll bring the gummy worms while Chris handles the spider cookies. Who knew snack planning could be this creative?
Flurp, corporations? I think they just want our money and then some.
Oh, how delightfully astute. They're like parasites, feeding off the wallets of the unsuspecting masses.
Some corporations do provide decent products, it's not all evil.
Can we please not make this a debate? Can we please play you bait? I'm just trying to figure out if we're getting chips for the party.
Good point, Meg. Meg. Chips are essential. No apocalypse party is complete without them.
Oh, how painfully obvious. Let's make sure those chips are gourmet. No ordinary snack will suffice.
I say we go for a variety classic, barbecue, and sour cream. Best of both worlds.
Okay, so we've got chips covered. What about dip? We need some good options.
Oh, how ridiculously trivial. Nothing less than a sophisticated cheese fondue will do for this gathering.
Cheese fondue?
Can we just go with salsa or guacamole? Those are crowd pleasers and way easier to manage.
Yeah, salsa and guac are solid choices. Plus, they pair perfectly with the chips.
Oh, how ordinary. I suppose we could keep it simple for our simpleton guests.
I think you're underestimating the value of simplicity here, Stewie. Sometimes less is more.
Why would you? It sounds like a new language. What does it even mean?
Oh, how fabulously uninformative. I expect a full breakdown of this bizarre utterance immediately.
I have to admit I'm curious too. It sounds like someone really went wild on the keyboard.
Can we not get sidetracked by random letters? I just want to stick to the snacks.
Right. May or year. Let's focus on what truly matters here, what chips and dips we're serving.
Oh, how exceedingly pedestrian. Honestly, if we're not discussing world domination, I quickly lose interest.
I'll happily discuss dominating the snack table if that counts. What do you think, Meg?
Ranch dip? Now that's a classic choice. It goes great with just about everything.
Oh, how mind-numbingly basic. But I suppose it does pair well with those pedestrian vegetables.
You can't go wrong with ranch. I mean, it's practically the condiment of champions at this point.
As long as we have it, I'm happy. I just want everyone to enjoy the food.
Maybe we should have a ranch dip taste test. Different brands and homemade versions.
Oh, how exquisitely tedious. So, but if I must endure it, I'll make sure to bring my own gourmet concoction.
Sounds like a plan. Let's see if we can elevate ranch to something a bit more distinguished. Artemis the goldfish. Let's just say it was not one of my finer moments.
What happened? Did you accidentally feed it fancy food again?
Oh, how dreadfully morbid. I assume it was something tragic and dramatic, like a Shakespearean play.
Can we please not make this a big deal? It's just a fish.
That fish had aspirations, dreams, and a tragic backstory.
If I recall, didn't Artemis dream of being a sea turtle?
Oh, how delightfully whimsical.
Fine, I'll come clean. Artemis was, overly curious about my drink one day.
Wait, did it not survive your beverage experiment? That sounds tragic.
Oh, how gloriously dramatic. I can only imagine the chaos of a goldfish and a cocktail.
So you basically killed the fish with your own drinking habits? Nice going, Brian.
In my defense, how was I supposed to know a goldfish would try to swim in my whiskey?
That's why you shouldn't mix pets with alcohol. It's a lesson learned, right?
Oh, how excruciatingly predictable. Just another tale of folly in the life of Brian.
So, what are we going to do with the empty fish tank now?
Oh, how wonderfully grim. I propose we turn it into a stylish vodka display.
Just to make sure no one tries to swim in it.
Seriously? We're not turning a dead fish's home into a bar display. That's just gross.
What if we get another goldfish? We could name it Artemis II.
Oh, how delightfully unoriginal. I suggest a more intriguing name, like Captain Sparklepants.
Whatever we decide, let's just make sure this one survives. I can't deal with another fish funeral.
If we get a new fish, let's make sure it has a solid life plan.
Oh, how alarmingly pedestrian. Surely it should have ambitions beyond just floating and eating flakes.
Maybe we should teach it some tricks, like how to jump through hoops now. That would impress everyone.
That sounds like a lot of work for a fish. Just let it be a fish. Fish!
But think of the fame. We could create a social media account for it.
Oh, how delightfully banal. I'd rather spend my time plotting world domination than managing a fish's Instagram.
You know, I'm on board with the Instagram idea. Artemis II, the influencer fish, has a nice ring to it.
I can already picture it Artemis II, the fish with 1 million followers.
Oh, how tragically delusional. What kind of content does a fish even create?
It could do unboxings of fish food.
Can we please focus on something that actually matters? Like our snacks for the party.
Right. May or year. Maybe we could even create a video of Artemis I'm meeting the snack spread.
Oh, how exquisitely banal. I'd rather watch paint dry than partake in this scene of mediocrity.
You'd be surprised sometimes the mundane gets the most views. Just look at reality TV.
What's your favorite kind, Brian? I bet it's something classy like truffle oil and goat cheese.
Oh, how positively cliche. As if you wouldn't expect a simpleton like Brian to prefer pepperoni.
Can we stay on topic? Pizza isn't exactly the most fascinating conversation starter.
But it is a party staple. We need to decide if we're going to order some.
Oh, how painfully pedestrian. Perhaps we should create a gourmet pizza with exotic toppings.
I'm all for trying unique pizzas, but let's not forget the classic cheese sometimes simple is best. What? I didn't eat the cat.
So you're saying the cat just magically disappeared, huh? Sounds suspicious.
Oh, how delightfully amusing. I'd love to hear your explanation for this culinary mystery, Brian.
Seriously, can we not talk about cannibalism in our family? It's gross.
It's not cannibalism if it's an animal plus. That cat had it coming.
What did it do this time? Scratch your face or something?
Oh, how wonderfully unoriginal. It's always the cat's fault, isn't it? Typical scapegoating.
If you didn't eat the cat, then where is it? It's not like it just walked off.
Oh, how thrillingly dramatic. Perhaps it's off living its best life, away from this madness.
Trust me, I wouldn't eat a cat. I'm more of a gourmet chef in the making only the finest ingredients for me.
Yeah, right. Like you're ever going to be in a kitchen without burning something.
So, should we put up missing posters for the cat then?
Oh, how excruciatingly tedious. Maybe it's gone to join a commune for felines seeking freedom.
I say we leave it be. Okay, let's set the record straight. I didn't eat the cat. That's just absurd.
You're not getting away that easily, Brian. First the fish, then the cat. What's next? The dog.
Oh, how splendidly dramatic. If you keep this up, you'll end up as the star of a true crime documentary.
Can we please just drop it? It's not like it's the first time something weird has happened in this house.
Exactly. We live in a house with a talking dog and a genius baby. It's all weird.
Yeah, but none of us have resorted to dining on family pets yet.
Oh, how delectably tragic. Perhaps we should consider a vegetarian lifestyle to avoid future disasters.
A vegetarian lifestyle isn't going to solve my cat-eating reputation.
What if we just promise to stop eating pets altogether? That sounds like a solid plan.
Oh, how exquisitely mundane. Next, you'll all be suggesting we start a wholesome podcast.
As long as it doesn't involve cooking anything weird, I'm in.
Maybe we should just stick with pizza and snacks for our next get-together.
Yeah, no more fish or cats in the mix, just good old-fashioned takeout.
Oh, how dreadfully predictable. At least it won't end in an animal rights scandal. For now.
Yes, Ted, Ed, Fred, I am indeed the dog. But that doesn't mean I'm not entitled to a good meal.
So does that mean we need to include dog food in our snacks? Because I draw the line at that.
Oh, how utterly preposterous. You could just dine on the remains of Artemis I for all I care.
Gross. Stewie, can we just have normal food for a change?
Normal food sounds excellent. I'm all for pizza. No cats or goldfish this time.
Agreed. It's just human food without any more of Brian's culinary adventures, please.
Oh, how dreadfully boring. Where is the creativity if we shy away from the absurd?
Disown me? That's a bit harsh, don't you think? I'm the one who keeps this family interesting.
Yeah, without Brian, who would we complain about? He's like the family's punching bag.
Oh, how splendidly ironic. Imagine how dull life would be without a walking disaster like Brian around.
I mean, he does have a point. Life would be way too normal without his shenanigans.
Exactly. What would you do without my witty commentary?
Probably just stare at each other awkwardly, which sounds horrific.
Oh, how utterly mundane. A world without chaos is a world without fun, my dear friends.
So, are we really considering disowning a family member over a couple of unfortunate incidents?
It's not just a couple, Brian. It's like a pattern of chaos that follows you around.
Oh, how gloriously chaotic. Perhaps we should just embrace the madness instead.
As long as it doesn't involve any more disappearing pets, I'm okay with that.
You know you love my chaotic energy. I keep things interesting around here.
Yeah, like a bad sitcom you can't stop watching.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. Just remember, heroes are born from chaos, not boring stability.
Wait, am I the one who's supposed to punch Meg? Because I'll pass on that?
Oh, how profoundly amusing. It's true Meg does have a certain talent for being the family's scapegoat.
Yeah, but let's not forget she also has her moments of retaliating with passive-aggressive comments.
Excuse me? Just because I don't punch back doesn't mean I'm a punching bag.
But it's kind of true you're always getting teased, Meg.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. But at least you've become a master of the art of sarcasm in the process.
Maybe we should start calling you Meg the Resilient. You've earned it. Yes, Ted, Ed, Fred, I am a beagle, but I like to think I'm smarter than Snoopy.
Really? Snoopy can fly a doghouse. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, how delightfully preposterous. Yeah, just because you can write a novel doesn't mean you're on Snoopy's level.
I mean, it's not hard to be smarter than a cartoon dog, right?
True, but I can argue philosophy while he's busy doing the happy dance at the dog park.
Maybe you should take notes from Snoopy on how to have fun instead of just being a know-it-all.
Oh, how tragically mundane. Perhaps we should have a beagle off to settle this once and for all.
A beagle off would just showcase my superior intellect, so I'm all for it.
What would that even look like? The race to see who can chase their tail fastest?
Oh, how gloriously absurd. I envision a grand debate between you two on the meaning of dog life.
Can we not turn this into another ridiculous competition? I just want snacks. So, new pricing, and we just watch.
Snacks could be the prize. That could work as motivation.
Yeah, but what if the prize is cat food? Now that would be a twist.
Oh, how delectably treacherous. Now we're talking. Let's see how well you two perform under pressure.
Of course it moved. It can't handle the magnitude of our awesomeness on YouTube.
Who didn't see that coming? I mean, copyright strikes are like family drama. It happens all the time.
Oh, how predictably tedious. I'd wager that the stream's creators should consider buying a cheese hat for added irony.
At least Trovo sounds like a fun place to hang out. Maybe we should check it out ourselves.
Not before we get our pizza priorities, Meg.
Totally. Totally. No downloads or streams until our cravings are satisfied.
Oh, how magnificently trivial. But alas, the culinary delight must wait while we bask in this digital saga.
Risky stepping down?
I mean, who cares? As long as it doesn't affect our pizza delivery.
Oh, how deliciously dramatic. Maybe Hez just trying to escape the impending doom of rampant copyright strikes.
Why does it always feel like there's some kind of scandal going on? I just want a peaceful life.
Peaceful? With us? Good luck with that.
Yeah, we're basically chaos incarnate. Remember the goldfish incident?
Oh, how fundamentally delightful. Now that was a moment of pure familial mayhem.
But I kind of admire that flirp. It takes guts to go toe-to-toe with a whole platform.
Oh, how gloriously futile. I assume they just couldn't handle the sheer magnificence of your brilliance.
What did you argue about anyway? I feel like it must have been something stupid.
Probably something trivial, like pineapple on pizza, or whether cats are better than dogs.
Please, cats aren't better than dogs? That's an argument I'm ready to lose.
Oh, how delectably tragic. I'd pay good money to see that debate unfold right here in our living room.
I mean, I'd love to see the day you get reinstated. Flirp just for the drama.
Maybe we should all band together and create a support group for the band.
Oh, how positively riveting. He'll bring the snacks and we can mock the system that failed us.
Can we not make this a whole thing? It's just a platform, after all.
It's not just any platform, it's a digital battleground, Meg.
Yeah, and the argument is more intense than any family dinner we've ever had.
Oh, how beautifully tragic. Each of us, warriors in the endless quest for online validation.
We could start calling ourselves the Band Brigade, dedicated to fighting for our rights online.
We'd be the biggest losers in history, but hey, at least we'd have each other.
Oh, how magnificently absurd. If only we had capes and secret identities to go with our cause.
Seriously, guys, please stop before this actually becomes a thing.
I can see the comic book cover now, 4 losers fighting for their digital dignity.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. We'll be legends in our own minds, and isn't that what really matters?
Oh, come on, Ted Ed Fred I. Pineapple on pizza is practically a culinary masterpiece.
Seriously, how can you turn down the combination of sweet and savory? It's like a party in your mouth.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. You two are advocating for culinary blasphemy next. You'll say ketchup is a vegetable.
Can we not argue about pizza toppings again? It's so overdone.
But it's riveting material. We could start a pizza war, the likes of which Quag has never seen.
We should probably make an anti-pizza pineapple club while he's away.
Oh, how fundamentally entertaining. I can already see the protests coming.
The Anti-Pizza Pineapple Club could have the best merchandise, shirts, hats, you name it.
I'd totally wear a shirt that says, pineapple is for desserts, not pizza.
Oh, how utterly pedestrian. We should also have rallies to protest the tyranny of tropical toppings.
Can we stop? Can we stop? It's just pizza, and it's really not that serious.
Not that serious? You clearly underestimate the passionate debates of food enthusiasts.
I mean, have you seen how heated people get over this? It's like the Olympics of pizza toppings.
Oh, how delightfully absurd. Let the pizza wars begin, then.
Ratings would skyrocket.
We could even have celebrity judges, like Polly from the pizzeria.
Oh, how gloriously ludicrous. I can already see the world settling back on its axis with proper pizza etiquette.
Seriously? This is the wildest idea you've ever had.
Wild ideas are the best ideas. Look where it got us streaming right now.
Plus, it definitely keep us entertained while Flurp refills his water.
Oh, how utterly ridiculous. Let's make sure to serve our followers perfectly unadulterated pizza.
We should create an official anthem for the Anti-Pizza Pineapple Club.
Yes, Mayufer. Something catchy like no pineapple, no problem.
Oh, how exquisitely mundane. Perhaps we could throw in some lofty rhetoric about culinary rights.
Are we seriously planning an anthem? This can't be real life.
Embrace the madness.
Plus, it'll be a great way to get attention on social media.
Oh, how delightfully absurd. Let's make our mark in gastronomic history, one pizza at a time.
We should definitely put together a music video to go along with the anthem.
That would be hilarious. Saying. Imagine us dancing in front of a giant pizza.
Oh, how delectably ridiculous. So, I can see it now, us wearing pizza slice costumes and singing like buffoons.
Please tell me you're joking. I refuse to be part of this cheesy disaster.
Cheesy is the point. It'll be a hit, Meg, trust me.
Plus, we could get famous, and who doesn't want that?
Oh, how magnificently absurd. For fame and glory await us through the wondrous world of pizza.
Just think about the views we could get.
We'd need killer choreography, though. I'm imagining pizza-themed dance moves.
Oh, how gloriously ludicrous. I'm already envisioning the extravagant set design swimming pools of marinara sauce.
Elf, can we not? I'm not swimming in marinara.
But think of the Instagram selfies, Meg. It could be your moment in the spotlight.
Yeah, and we could throw epic pizza parties.
Oh, how delightfully chaotic. I can already taste the glory of pizza-infused fame.
Imagine a pizza party where everyone has to dress as their favorite topping.
I'd go as pepperoni. It's the best topping, after all.
Oh, how delectably preposterous. Why? I shall come as the enigmatic anchovy, mysterious and misunderstood. See,
Can I at least be a veggie? Being a pizza topping is not my idea of fun.
Veggies are essential, Meg. You'll represent the healthy side amid all the chaos.
Yeah, and maybe you can educate us on the virtues of broccoli while we eat.
oh, how delightfully tragic. This pizza party is shaping up to be a true cultural experience.
Every pizza needs some color.
And I'll help by eating all the pepperoni. Gotta keep the pizza to topping ratio perfect.
Oh, how tragically delightful. Perhaps we should even consider a best dressed topping contest while we're at it.
Fine, but if I lose, I'm not being a veggie next time.
We can rotate who gets to be the toppings.
All I know is that I want pizza on every special occasion from now on.
Oh, how gloriously chaotic. Oh, the possibilities are endless when pizza is involved.
Plankton sang last resort?
Did he at least do a good job? I mean, he's tiny but mighty.
Oh, how gloriously absurd. I can't fathom a microscopic creature tackling such a heavy song.
Can we talk about the pizza, though? Italian pizza really is the best. I could eat it every day.
Italian pizza is like a work of art. Each slice is a masterpiece of flavor and craftsmanship.
Yeah, it definitely beats whatever that frozen stuff we eat is.
Oh, how tragically delightful. If only we could have Italian pizza delivered right now, we'd be in paradise.
Oh man, Flurp, I completely forgot about that. That was hilarious.
Oh, how delightfully ludicrous. Chris Gristle is quite the fitting moniker for you, Chris.
I have to admit, I'm still chuckling at the thought of Chris walking around like a Christmas ham.
Can we just focus on my pain for once? I can't believe that's a name someone gave you.
It's better than being called Meg, that's for sure.
Oh, how fundamentally tragic. At least Chris Gristle has some charm to it.
Whatever you say, Chris. Just don't let it go to your head.
I kind of like being Chris Gristle. It has a nice ring to it.
Oh, how utterly whimsical. You should change your social media name to Chris Gristle immediately.
Just don't lean too hard into the ham aspect, or you might end up becoming a meme.
Fantastic. Now we'll have Chris Gristle getting roasted online. Just what we need.
As long as the roast is accompanied by pizza, I'm all in.
Oh, how gloriously torturous. The world could always use more pizzazz from Chris Gristle.
Just remember, Chris, fame can be fleeting, so enjoy it while it lasts.
Wait, Chris Novoselic? Is that a Nirvana reference?
Oh, how profoundly pretentious. Just when I thought you couldn't get any more obscure, Ted, Ed, Fred, I comes in hot.
I mean, if Chris is the Chris Novoselic of our group, that makes Stewie the artistic genius of the trio.
Can we not idolize Chris? He's just a guy with a funny name now.
Hey, I'll take it if it means I get a legacy.
Oh, how deliciously absurd. Maybe I should start calling you Kurt Cobain then.
Let's just hope Chris doesn't go all grunge on us and start wearing flannel.
Sweet Lightning? Really? I thought Baja Blast was the king of Mountain Dew flavors.
Oh, how gloriously subjective. It's like trying to pick the best child impossible.
It's just a sugar bomb in a can.
Can we not act like we're connoisseurs of soda? It's all just fizzy sugar water.
But it's the flavors that make it special. Sweet Lightning is like a summer party in my mouth.
Oh, how delightfully mundane. If only we had a tasting panel to discuss our soda preferences.
Probably better than debating the merits of pizza toppings.
I still think the weird flavors are what make Mountain Dew fun.
Oh, how inherently absurd. You know you're indulging in culinary chaos with those choices.
I guess some people like a little adventure in their soda. I prefer my drinks less. Explosive.
Can we stop talking about soda already? It's just carbonated sugar.
But what if we hosted a Mountain Dew challenge? Taste test all the flavors.
Oh, how delectably ridiculous. So, I can already see the resulting chaos unfolding gracefully before us.
Not count me in if it means we get free soda.
I have to go with the Saturn V. It literally took humans to the moon.
Oh, how delightfully historic. The Saturn V is iconic, but the N1 had such tragic potential.
I think the N1 is more fascinating because it represents the Soviet space race failures. It's a story of ambition and disaster.
Why are we even talking about rockets? Can't we focus on something more tangible, like pizza?
You can't eat rockets, Meg. But you can fantasize about flying to the moon while enjoying some pizza.
Oh, how tragically mundane. Rocket science and culinary delights in one discussion, how splendidly ridiculous.
Well, if we could launch a pizza to the moon, that would be a game changer.
The cheesiest pizza? That's definitely got to be that 4-cheese extravaganza at Luigi's.
Oh, how fantastically indulgent. 4 cheeses? That's practically a dairy disaster waiting to happen.
I once had a pizza with extra cheese, plus cream cheese as a topping. Talk about overkill.
Can we not talk about overkill? My stomach is already churning just thinking about it.
But more cheese means more flavor, Meg. It's basically a celebration of cheese.
Oh, how delightfully ludicrous. Oh! If it's not oozing cheese, are we even trying?
I'll take any pizza that resembles a molten cheese fountain.
I mean, who wouldn't want to swim in a pool of melted cheese? That sounds like paradise.
Oh, how delightfully grotesque. Imagine the cholesterol levels, though utterly diabolical.
Let's be real, Chris. That's just a heart attack waiting to happen.
Great! Now I'm imagining a cheese-filled grave being your future.
As long as my grave is delicious, I won't complain.
Oh, how tragically absurd. I can only hope the afterlife serves more than just pizza.
If they have pizza in the afterlife, I'm in.
Oh, wow, Flurp, that was so funny. Meg's face was priceless during that scene.
Oh, how exquisitely delightful. So, watching her struggle with cosmic horrors was truly a sight to behold.
To be fair, Meg, you do walk around with a permanent expression of confusion.
Thanks, Brian. You know, it's nice to know I'm the family punching bag for your entertainment.
Come on, Meg, it's part of your charm. Like a train wreck you can't look away from.
Oh, how tragically absurd. One moment, you're in a horror tale, the next, you're just the family joke.
At least you're the reason we all get a good laugh.
Honestly, Meg, you should embrace being the cosmic horror expert in the family.
Oh, how profoundly ridiculous. Maybe we should get you a diploma in existential dread.
I'm just saying, if anyone can survive the absurdity of this family, it's you, Meg.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, guys. I feel so uplifted.
It's true. You're practically the superhero of awkwardness.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. You should start charging for public speaking engagements on horror.
I'd pay to see that Meg Griffin, Master of Cosmic Fates. What a title.
I can totally see the poster now, Meg Griffin, Conqueror of Cosmic Fears.
Oh, how astoundingly brilliant. I imagine it would be a bestseller in the horror section.
If nothing else, at least it would make a great conversation starter at parties.
Great. Just when I need more awkward situations where I'm the center of attention.
But think of the fame, Meg. You'd finally be known for something?
Oh, how tragically ironic. After all these years of family ridicule, it would be quite the turnabout.
And you might actually get a cool hoodie out of it, too.
Good evening, Quahog. Tonight we have a shocking report about a cat that can play the piano.
Oh, how exquisitely ludicrous. Oh, a feline virtuoso? This belongs on a Sunday afternoon special.
And in other news, local man attempts to break the world record for most consecutive cheeseburgers eaten.
Who cares about a cat or a cheeseburger? What about the weird conspiracy theories in this town?
Oh, how delightfully absurd. If I were news anchoring, I'd investigate the secrets of the universe, not mere felines.
You know what, Meg? Maybe we can combine all the stories into one big scandal.
I can see it now. Local cat exposes cheeseburger conspiracy.
Oh, how delightfully eclectic. Gorillas are a perfect blend of music and artistry. I admire their creativity.
Wait, are they the cartoon band? Their videos are so weird, but I love it.
It's like a virtual band with depth and a story behind their music.
Great, so now we're talking about cartoon bands. Can we not? I'd rather hear real musicians.
Oh, how tragically mundane. Your taste is as exciting as a soggy cardboard box, Meg.
At least gorillas have characters that can carry a narrative, unlike your average pop star.
Exactly. What more could you want?
Oh man, I remember that. Ted is so passionate about his pizza toppings.
Oh, how elegantly archaic. Pineapple on pizza is a culinary revelation. Ted clearly doesn't appreciate genius.
Honestly, it's a matter of taste. Some people love the sweet and savory combo, and others just don't get it.
Can we not turn this into a whole debate? It's just pizza, for crying out loud.
But Meg, it's pizza with feelings. It's like a delicious international crisis on a plate.
Oh, how tragically bland. One should always experiment with flavors, not confine oneself to mundane options.
Exactly. Pineapple can reign supreme.
Bye, Fleur. Hope you make something delicious for dinner.
Oh, how tragically mundane. What a boring way to spend your evening preparing food instead of basking in our brilliance.
Well, dinner is important, Stewie. Besides, sleep is crucial for maintaining one's sanity.
Yeah, Fleur, don't let us keep you from your meal. You've got to live your boring life.
As long as you don't end up making a pizza with pineapple.
Oh, how delightfully absurd. Perhaps he can experiment with flavors like we discussed earlier.
Or he could create something revolutionary, a culinary masterpiece that changes the world.
Honestly, if I could invent a new food, it would be a pizza that makes itself.
Oh, how utterly revolutionary. A self-making pizza? Why did I not conceive of that genius idea first?
But let's be real. It would probably end up being a chaotic disaster.
Just imagine the mess in the kitchen. I can already see it turning into a food fight.
A flying pizza party? That sounds amazing.
Oh, how delightfully absurd. I can visualize chaos reigning supreme my kind of evening.
Now that I can get behind fun, food, and flights of culinary fancy.
I didn't refill my water bottle, but I did finish off the last slice of pizza.
Oh, how delectably predictable. You're always prioritizing food over hydration, aren't you, Chris?
Well, hydration is overrated when you're living the high life, right?
Do we really have to talk about water and hydration? Sounds so boring. Sounds so boring.
Oh, how refreshingly nostalgic. It's practically like a family reunion, minus the awkwardness. Or maybe not.
Just wait until Meg starts talking about her latest high school drama.
Please, no one wants to hear about my high school drama. It's cringeworthy.
You mean cringeworthy like the time you tried out for the school play and forgot your lines?
Oh, how gloriously embarrassing. No, I would pay to see that performance such exquisite train wreck potential.
We all have our moments, Meg. At least you're not out there trying to break a world record for eating pizza.
That's not really a comfort, Brian. My life feels like one giant embarrassing pizza slice.
Maybe you should embrace it. You could be the poster child for awkwardness.
Oh, how tragically sublime. Meg, your life is practically a sitcom that writes itself.
I still think it would be awesome if your awkwardness became a trend, Meg.
Oh, how fabulously ludicrous. We could market your cringe-worthy moments as a new reality show.
I'd watch that. Meg's magical messes could be the hit of the season.
Can we please not? I'd rather disappear into a black hole than be famous for my awkwardness.
Then how about Meg the Accidental Comedian? It has a nice ring to it.
Oh, how tragically poetic. Your life is filled with unintentional humor. It's practically a gold mine.
Just remember, Meg, every great comic has to start somewhere, even if it's in the awkward department.
Well, it's been a blast hanging out with everyone tonight.
Oh, how utterly delightful. I shall relish the memories of our sophisticated banter for ages.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Remember, there's always room for pizza and awkwardness here.
I just want to say, thanks for sticking around. Even if my life is a mess, it's nice to share it.
Next time, we should totally dive into more ridiculous ideas.
Oh, how charmingly avant-garde. Until then, stay absurd, my friends.
We'll see you all soon for more laughs.
Wait, Shrek 5? I can't believe they're still making those.
Oh, how exquisitely tiresome. I thought we buried that ogre after the 4th installment.
I have to admit, I'm a bit curious about what they'll do next.
Honestly, I just hope they give Fiona more to do this time. The first few movies were kind of her time to shine.
Maybe they'll introduce new characters, like a medieval dog who talks like Brian.
Oh, how delightfully absurd. If they want my attention, they'd better make him a suave gentleman with impeccable style.
Just remember, folks, the art of storytelling can always surprise us, even if it comes from an ogre.
Hey, Doofus Felix. So glad you could join us.
Oh, how utterly delightful. Welcome to the circus, where chaos reigns supreme.
And farewell, Ted, Ed, Fred, I. You'll be missed, even if you're just saying goodbye.
Bye, Ted, Ed, Fred, I. So, thanks for stopping by, even if it was just for a second.
You know, every time someone says goodbye, I feel a wave of sadness, followed by relief because they aren't making us sit through more of Meg's stories.
Oh, how tragically poetic. A bittersweet farewell, so reminiscent of Shakespeare, except with far less talent.
Let's raise a glass to our departing friends.
No, Ted, Ed, Fred, I, we're still here, just hanging out and being our usual chaotic selves.
Oh, how gloriously banal. Even if he thought we were done, there's no escape from our delightful madness.
We're basically like a bad penny always turning up when you least expect it.
And I swear, if you think we would ever end early, you clearly haven't been paying attention.
He definitely missed the part where Meg's stories make us all want to run away.
Oh, how astoundingly tragic. But do stay for the show, it only gets better. Or worse.
Exactly. Just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, we hit you with another round of absurdity.
Whoa, Mastermind Bane. Oh, that sounds like a pretty bold accusation.
Oh, how extravagantly ludicrous. Mo, blaming Meg for foul odors? That's simply classic.
I wouldn't put it past her, though.
I do not fart. I do not fart. That is a total stereotype.
Maybe it's just the pizza from earlier. It had a bit of a kick to it.
Oh, how exquisitely poetic. A culinary mystery mixed with bodily functions, truly a recipe for disaster.
Either way, we should probably open a window soon. Just in case.
Bye, Ted, Ed, Fred, aye. Well, thanks for joining us. Come back soon.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. Another one bites the dust. What a heart-wrenching farewell.
And Doofus Felix, I promise I'll try not to exploit that dog treat system too much. But it's tempting.
Can you please stop telling me to shut up? It's so frustrating.
It's not my fault, Meg. You just give off this please interrupt me vibe.
Oh, how simply charming. Meg, you could be the poster child for awkward silences. Push.
But hey, if it gets me treats, maybe I'll just need to set up a system.
Oh, you're sticking around, Ted, Ed, Fred, aye? Well, welcome back to the madness.
Oh, how deliciously unexpected. More time to witness our glorious absurdity is always appreciated.
Just be warned, you might leave with more chaos than you bargained for.
Does that mean I can stop being the punching bag for once?
You're braver than most, my friend. Let's see how long you last.
Oh, how delightfully tragic. A brave soul trapped in the whirlwind of nonsensical banter.
A typo? That's a classic move. Ted, Ed, Fred, aye.
Oh, how astoundingly clever. Typos are the true essence of modern communication, aren't they?
Or maybe you were just trying to get attention. Because it worked.
Well, you're fitting in just fine with our insanity.
Oh, how tragically delightful. Embrace the chaos, it's a badge of honor here.
This is it, everyone. It's time to say goodbye.
Oh, how tragically bittersweet. Farewell to our audience. May your lives be filled with absurdity.
To answer your question, Doofus Felix, I'm not sure what Sigma means, but I'm definitely an alpha when it comes to pizza.
Just remember, we appreciate all of you. You make this chaos a lot more fun.
Yeah, we had a blast tonight.
Oh, how delightfully magnificent. Until next time, my friends, keep the madness alive.